least.
Is this David? Glenelg's second home game in a row. They're up against Sturt. Carey to ruck for them against the young boy David McKechnie, who wins the first one, but it's taken by David Marshall. Into attack go the Bays. Pushed out by the Sturt defence. Still working hard out there is Frost, but he can't get it fast. Simons with a chance to pick it up for Glenelg. Down goes the ball, and a push in the back found, and it's for Paik of Sturt. Paik from the outer side.
Salisbury started in the back pocket, not in the forward pocket where he was named, Keith.
Paik onto the wing. In front, John Seabohm, the centre half back for Glenelg. He'll push it over the centre in towards their half forward line. In front was Heinrich for Sturt, and he's the one who pulls out of the pack, drives it well onto the outer side. Looking for Howard, he couldn't handle it. Over the ball, still in play, not anymore.
Beautiful movement out of that half back line then by Tim Paik. The little handball he gave across there to Heinrich. Very well done indeed.
Throw in with Carey and McKechnie. Carey wins it easily, pushes it forward. Paik, though, with the run of it. Picks it up nicely, handball to Craig. Craig across to Reid, playing his first game this season, back from injury. Heinrich under pressure. He pushes it out onto the grandstand wing. Craig under the ball, takes a steadying mark for Sturt.
He worked hard then, Neil Craig. He had to come all the way across the ground to make up for the error of his handball.
Sturt in towards the centre position. Radbone back. Derrington under the ball. He gets it forward. Scrappy kick. Filkey handles it beautifully. Turns to Motley. 6 goals last week. Peter Motley looks for his first today, and it's a miss.
A bad miss.
1 point only. Sturt score. The first score here down at the Bay. Sturt 1 point. Glenelg get to score.
Well, Peter Motley should have had that goal. It's a beautiful bit of play by Craig Filkey. He took the chance when he went to meet the ball, sat it on his tummy and sent a magnificent handball to Motley.
Farquhar now relieving for the Bays from the back pocket. Goes towards the centre. Looking for Carey. Couldn't take the mark. Comes to Doofy. He's got time. It's onto the left boot. Chips up towards the forward pocket. Looking for Kernahan out in front. Kernahan once again, safe pair of hands. Very awkward position for Kernahan. He's about 50 metres to 60 metres out. Very acute angle. Looks like he's going to line it up for a shot. Breeze coming from the southeast. It's a drop punt. Didn't allow too much for the breeze. In fact, that could be out on the full. It will be, and a penalty free kick to Sturt.
Plenty in that breeze at the moment, Robert. You look at that left-hand goalpost down that end, has really got a wave up.
Yes, it's certainly very gusty and strong. Very difficult kick that for Stephen Kernahan. Not only will it curve in flight, but also getting it to boot's difficult.
Ball again moving with the breeze towards the boundary line. He was looking for McKechnie, but he's put it straight back in the hands of Kernahan. Almost exactly the same position, only this time Kernahan plays on quickly. He was looking for Marshall. Comes to that player now. Goes to ground. McGuinness looking for support onto the right boot. A hurried little chip. Stumped away. Holst will come through. He's got strength onto the right boot. Safely stopped on the last line of defence, and Sturt will run it out towards the outer wing. Comes to Painter. Picked up. Support.
Hollis.
To Whittlesey. He's got a Paddock to run in. Chips it away. Looking for Davies. He's in front, a long way out, but he was in front of Farquhar. Davies has taken his first mark of the day. Chips away. Plays on quickly. Much closer to goal now. Sturt only about 30 metres out. Whittlesey in front.
Gee, Whittlesey made some ground then. He came from the full back line right up to centre half forward to create that opportunity.
Whittlesey now with a chance to put the first goal on the board for Sturt. They're kicking into this breeze quite strong here at the Bay. Good crowd in attendance. Kicks underway. His punchy little kick. Will it make the distance? It won't. Off hands. Rush through for a behind. So Sturt move along to 2 minors. 2 minor scores there. 2 points. Glenelg get to score.
Farquhar will clear for Glenelg. Favours the outer side, but it drifts back right into the middle. A huge kick with the wind. He was looking for Carey. Marshall with a good handball forward, but Fry looks like he's got the run of it. He can't take it. Stringer.
It's Campbell.
That's Campbell. That's Rod Campbell, the new player, son of the coach. Kernahan again, already an influence in this game. It's on to 12-3. 12-3 shot is offline. 1 point to the Bays. Their first score on the board at around the 5-minute mark of this first quarter.
A little bit unlucky then, 12-3. Couldn't get onto his left foot, which is his natural foot.
Sturt come out now to the grandstand side. Carey from behind. McKechnie was in front. The umpire's found a free kick, and it's going in the way of McKechnie. Carey interfering. Youngster plays on. It's a shocking kick, in fact, out of bounds on the full. Did not allow for any wind at all, and we'll see Duthie take the penalty free kick for the Bays. Almost on centre wing, grandstand side. It's onto his right boot, up towards the pocket area. A lot of players fall. Fire mark taken by Frost. Been a good player for Sturt so far in pre-season trials. Kept his eye on that mark. Left foot. Back to where it came from. Carey from behind and Duthie there. Carey's been paid the mark. Looking for 15, won't come off. Plays on short, looking for Kernahan. He's in front. That's about Kernahan's third mark in about as many minutes. This time, the angle much better, only about 30 metres out.
It's a great mark, Stephen Kernahan. Chris Radbone could have fisted that ball from behind Peter Carey. Took a chance trying to mark it, I feel.
Kernahan steadies, allows for the breeze. It's swinging back. Not quite enough. Minor score to Kernahan. Glenelg's second point. Scores locked together. 2 minor scores apiece.
Andrew Downs will kick off for Sturt. Back from injury. He missed on the final series last year, and they'll be looking for a big effort from Andrew Downs in the fullback position this year. Painter is under it. Ball falls short though to Derrington. Derrington trying. Ball's in a big pack, and the umpire will have to ball it up. Stringer was the player on the bottom for Glenelg, and Derrington for Sturt.
It's interesting, McKechnie led to the other side of the ground for that kick out too. Took Carey out of the play.
Bounce down on slightly forward of the half-forward position on the grandstand side here for Glenelg. Fry clearing for Sturt. Kicks towards the centre of the ground. Into the open. McKechnie with a chance. Seabohm better to the ball. To Carey. Carey with plenty of time. Well covered there by McKechnie though. The umpire says over the shoulder, and Whittlesey, the centre man for Sturt, will settle things down. He comes out onto the grandstand side. True wing position, the ball holds up in the wind. Motley high, couldn't take it. Good give by Barbary to Derrington. Holding the man, says the umpire. 2 frees in a row to Sturt. So Derrington pretty well on the wing position, close to the grandstand boundary line. Plenty of breeze into his face here. Punches the ball forward, looking for Motley. In front was Seabohm. Filkey trying to get it out. Motley covers it, and a push in the back decision, and here's another yike in almost exactly the position as last week.
That push in the back, I think, was only the tail breeze that blew him over.
5 frees to Sturt so far. Motley forward, looking for Davies. Farquhar on him. Davies was in no position then. Cleared by Farquhar. Derrington tried for it, came too hard to him. The new player, McKechnie, his hand pass was nowhere. I think it was to his opponent, John Seabohm. Over the line it goes again. Just slightly towards the wing position on the grandstand side. Carey rucking for Glenelg.
Tony Hall, that was, who kicked it forward off hands from Simons to
Eddie
Fry.
Trying to handle it now to Pake. Pake tried to run through. Too many players in the way. That's David Marshall loose onto the left foot. Drives it well into the forward line, and that ball really got to run up with the wind. 1 point only to David Marshall. Glenelg 3 shots for 3 points. Sturt on 2 behinds.
It's David Marshall getting a touch early in the game. He loves to run with the ball and kick it. He can turn onto both sides of his body.
Sturt now continue the attack towards this grandstand side. In front, almost Hall taking a good mark, comes to ground. Sturt will get away with this. Play on to Radbone. He's got pace. 1 bounce, goes towards the centre of the ground, trying to get away from Duthie. 2 bounces. Like a little rabbit changing course there. 3 bounces onto the left boot. Shocking kick in the end. Comes to ground looking for Howard, he was. Davies is there, couldn't do anything with it. And McFarlane eventually will see the ball over the line.
Very lucky then, McFarlane, not to be penalised for kicking out of bounds deliberately. Just kicked that ball straight out of bounds without trying to keep it in play. Very lucky.
Radbone running a long way with that ball. Covered almost 100 metres. Throw in now. Carey against Davies. Davies got the tap to Craig. Couldn't take it. Picks up now. Is looking for support. Will he find it? He won't. Well done, McFarlane. Howard fighting hard. Comes to ground. The umpire says there's a push in the back. Howard will take the free kick. Davies on a short lead. That's where it's going. He's in front, over his head. Comes to Radbone. Picks it up. Sturt to Davies, onto the right boot, up towards the forward pocket. Seabone, nowhere near Motley. Motley's taken a mark only about 5 metres out on a 45-degree ankle and should put the first goal on the board for Sturt.
Not going to be an easy kick, though. That wind's blowing straight between the goals.
Motley comes in. He's kicked it hard. Minor score. Sturt 3 points, Glenelg 3 points. We've played about 10 minutes of the first quarter.
Well, Peter Motley got up there into that forward line then, had an opportunity to kick the goal, unable to do so.
Michael Farquhar to clear for Glenelg from that point. Another strong kick right into the middle of the ground. Kernahan tried to push it back over, but in fact the ball was neutralised and runs right out over the wing position. Grandstand side. It'll be contested from this throw-in by Kernahan against young David McKechnie, the Mount Compass farmer. McKechnie wins it to Barbary. Barbary over his shoulder. Stringer was the one who tried to get it. Salisbury's the one who clears. Salisbury right into the half-forward position. Beats all the players with the wind carrying that very strongly. Oh, Downs met very heavily by Carey.
He came up under his arm.
Downs with a big hand pass to get the ball moving to Heinrich. Heinrich's kick is very wide out onto this wing position. Kernahan again.
Hargraves is on for Sturt, playing his 100th game today.
4 marks straight to Kernahan. Playing a strong first quarter. A miss by Nichols, Greg Nichols. Chance for Stringer now for the Bays. Plenty of competition there though. Downs is the one who grabs it off him. Greg Nichols, the recruit full forward for Glenelg from Myrtleford in one of the Victorian country leagues. Used to play for Ainslie. In fact, he played centre half forward when Cowboy Neal, the new Centrals coach, was full forward for them. Carey. Cleared by Peter Reid. To paint it back to Reid.
That's well done.
Low kick. David Marshall's the one who turns out of trouble with it. Reid again. Can't do much with it this time. McGuinness with a chance. He had plenty of competition, manages to push it to a teammate though. Holst, and the ball, I don't know what he was trying to do with it, but he managed to get into the centre of the ground to Kernahan. Well spoiled there.
Hargraves.
Whittlesey. Hargraves on. Holding the ball was the cry, but no, says the umpire. That player ran into his opponent. No attempt to get rid of it. And so Pake will relieve for Sturt. Glenelg looked strong then, but couldn't get the ball moving right into the goal line. With Duthie and Radbone contesting. Glenelg forward, and they find Hall. Hall, half forward flank, he's still 60 or 70 metres out. He'd line up to push it right into the goals. Tony Hall's kick, same as has been the pattern for Glenelg so far, not allowing enough for this win, which is quite strong towards the northern end. Yet another point for them. 4 points to Glenelg, 4 shots. They trail, oh, in fact, they're 1 point up on Sturt now, 3 points.
Sturt continue to come to this grandstand side, again not allowing too much for that breeze. It'll dribble towards the boundary line. And we'll see a ball in. Left forward pocket for Glenelg. They're kicking with the wind in this first quarter, and we've played about 15 minutes.
Free kick to Glenelg there, of course, because of the ball going over the boundary line without being touched from the kick out.
Duthie gets it up towards the full forward position. A lot of players there. Comes to ground to Carey. Gets onto his left boot. It's a hurried kick. Minor score. The 5th to Glenelg. They're 5 points. Sturt 3 points.
A beautiful movement by Peter Carey. His ability to get between that pack and quickly put the ball to foot. Very well done. A little bit unfortunate not to score the goal. The big fellow not having the best of starts to the season. Still, it may take him a bit of time to run into form. Getting a little bit older these days. But no, nonetheless, still of great talent.
Finally got the ball back on the ground. We've lost it in the crowd there for a while, and it'll be Downs to kick off from full back. Going back to the same position that we've seen it come to every time. Stringer sitting at the back of the pack, takes a safe mark on his chest. He'll play on towards the centre, up towards full forward. Carey got nudged out. Play goes on. Nichols, left foot. Could be the first goal. Yes, indeed. Glenelg 1 goal 5. Sturt 3 points.
Paul Hollis not in the slightest bit interested about going for that ball, just tapped it out, wouldn't put his hand on it, he just tapped it sideways to Nichols. Nichols picked it up and converted easily. Bit of bad play there by the wingman for Sturt, and he had to put his hands on the ball, an error play, and Nichols took full advantage of it with a very good snap over his shoulder. At the moment, Glenelg posing a bit of a problem for Sturt in the ruck. Peter Hargraves on the ground very quickly, only after 10 minutes. I thought perhaps McKechnie may have stayed a bit longer.
It's Kernahan for Glenelg against Hargraves, playing his 100th game for Sturt. Ball's neutral in the middle. Glenelg with a run of it now, but muddy in the middle there. Craig pushes it out to Painter, he couldn't get up. Taps it though to Radbone, he can't get hold of it. Tackle on by Radbone. Stringer gets it clear to McGuinness, he's got the run, he's got time to bounce it. Oh, and he's fallen over, and so it's Pake. Handball's wide to Holst. Radbone tries to run through, up over the shoulder, and he'll get a free. Centre half-back position.
It was a beautiful bit of play by Chris Radbone. Then he never took his body off the line of that ball for a second.
Radbone to run it out onto the outer wing position. Looking for Craig. He's up against the big man in Kernahan. The ball's pushed out by Kernahan. Throw in right on the wing position, outer side here at the Glenelg Oval. This stage, Glenelg 1 goal 5, 6 shots with plenty of wind. Sturt 3 points on.
Beautiful knock by Hargraves there. He got it out on his right hand. Sturt players couldn't take advantage of it. He's a great tap knock ruckman, Peter Hargraves. And with his 100th game, he'll be certainly trying very hard to make it a good one.
He's up again against Kernahan on this throw-in. Wins it again to Painter. Painter drives it into the open. Seabohm's there. Nice take. Long hand pass, though. Looking for Simons, who took it well. Turns it in towards the half-forward line for Glenelg. But Eddie Fry will lead in the run for this one. In fact, Downs sprinting out of fullback. Kick out onto the grandstand wing for Barbary. Can Barbary keep it in? Yes, he can. Only because Salisbury's there with a nice tap to Duthie. Duthie over the top to Marshall. Marshall turns with time into the centre half forward position. Choice of 2, and they muffed it. Sturt to clear through Frost. He looks for Painter, who's making plenty of ground out there. Painter brings it back into the centre. The hand pass is not on to Darrington.
It was on, but it wasn't given well. The execution was disgraceful.
McGuinness with a shot. In fact, he wasn't looking for the goals, he was looking into the corner. And now Downs pauses, lets the ball settle. Darrington to clear. Heinrich. It was Heinrich, in fact. 17 minutes gone with Craig with a chance to run over the wing. Sturt haven't been in attack for quite a while. Craig, though, with a kick looking for Motley, who's up a week before acceptances. Filkey's the one who manages to ride that pack to Barbary. Barbary with a shot. It's a goal. A good goal from Craig Barbary, his first and Sturt's first for the game. They go to 1 goal 3. They're behind Glenelg on 1 goal 5.
Well, in the last couple of minutes, we've seen a comedy of errors around the centre of the ground. But on that occasion, coming out of defence, a kick by Neil Craig into the half-forward line saw a bit of play from Craig Filkey that was absolutely exceptional. His ability to come through that pack and ride those bumps as he came through it and hold possession of the ball and then to advantage the ball to Craig Barbary for the simplest of goals was a wonderful effort by the small fellow who's been brought into the side this afternoon.
18 minutes gone. It'll be Hargraves against Kernahan. Bounce favours Hargraves, takes it out of the air, runs straight into trouble though in the centre square, and we'll see a bounce up. Play progressing only about 10 metres in favour of Glenelg. 2 points the difference. Kernahan again against Hargraves. Well, Kernahan gets a big thump away, comes to Hall, he controls it well, gets onto the right boot, it's a hurried kick, the wind's bringing it back. Nichols is there with Downs. That's gone through for a minor score. Glenelg 1 goal 6. Haven't quite got their kicking accurate yet. 12 points, Sturt 139. Sturt now continue to come out from defence to this grandstand side. Fry was up there too. Big Holst coming through. It's ridden into the ground. Umpire calls play on. It comes to Craig. It's a handball across. Sturt are having trouble running it down this grandstand side wing at the moment. We'll see a throw in.
They're not hitting the body with a handball, Robert.
Yeah, I don't think that Greg Whittlesey thought that handball was too hot.
Throw in again. Kernahan got the tap, didn't go anywhere in particular. Craig's in there. Kernahan again to Holst. Puts his head down, bundled through. It's come to McGuinness. He's on his natural left foot. Hooks it back towards the full forward position. Simons takes it onto the left boot. Out of bounds on the full. Didn't allow for any breeze. A hurried kick around the body.
He's got beautiful ball skills though, Tony Simons. When he was running across there, that ball bounced rather awkwardly and he was still able to snare it as he came through. Well done, Tony Simons.
We'll eventually see Frost take the penalty free kick. A section of the crowd certainly liked that ball down there. Carey will be standing the mark. Big tall Frost, got plenty of height on him. Left foot. Kernahan from behind, couldn't take it. In fact, the umpires paid the mark. I would have said Kernahan had first touch. It's going to go the way in Peter Reid. To Craig. Took his eye on the ball. Sturt a chance now to work it. Davies is a long way out of goals. Craig looking in that general direction. Punches one. Seabone's up front with Motley. Comes to ground. Barbary taps it on. Comes to Davies, who'll get the handball across to Hollis. Smothered kick. Farquhar in there fighting hard. Barbary looking for crumbs. Push in the back. Going the way of Salisbury, who's playing in the back pocket.
That's the first free kick the Bays have earned in this game. We're at about the 20-minute mark as Salisbury puts it right into the centre and Hargraves almost manages the one-hander. 12th tree for Glenelg to push it forward, looking for McGuinness into the open. McGuinness controls it. Marshall will sit for this, have a shot, and it looks good. Glenelg get another one. 2 goals 6 they go. Sturt 1 goal 3.
Glenelg took advantage of that error by Peter Hargraves, if you'd like to call it. Harry controlled it with one hand. Sturt weren't able to get to the fall of the ball quickly. Glenelg went straight into attack, and David Marshall, who's playing in the centre this afternoon. They've got Duthie on one wing. They got into a bit of trouble last week, Glenelg, with their height across the centre line. And David Marshall, who played there last year, is in fact playing in the centre of the ground today, and it was he that scored that goal.
21.5 minutes gone. First quarter here at the Bay. Kernahan against Hargraves. Kernahan got it down only to Barbary though. Holst tried to put his body over the ball. Simons back to Holst. He's well tackled. It's a wobbly kick towards the half-forward position. Good mark taken defence there by Pake. Will settle things down a bit for Sturt. Goes towards the outer wing, looking for Hollis. Pays the mark. Hollis has got players running now, so big opportunity for Sturt. McGuinness coming in for the tackle. Craig's in there.
McGuinness clears for the Bays. McGuinness into the half-forward position. Bay plays in front, but Downs gets a chance to contest. It's Fry who jumps out of that pack with it. Just Seabone, though, who'll hold things up for Glenelg. Seabone, the centre half-back. From pretty well that position. He's gone to Farquhar on the run, out onto the grandstand wing, into the open. The ball eludes 12th tree, out of bounds.
I would have thought that wasn't a good bit of play, actually, to give that ball to Farquhar to bring the ball on the defensive side. He could have turned and kicked it across to the other side of the ground then, John Seabohm.
Kernahan against Hargraves. That's Peter Reid. He couldn't get it clear. David Marshall on the left boot. Looking for Nichols. He was neutralised. Chased for Frost now. He's going to run it out. Definitely didn't want to kick that one in because he had Bay players right on his tail.
I think the umpire would have been within his rights to call that deliberate too. He made no effort to take the ball, just tapped it out of bounds. 23-minute mark. The Bays are 9 points up. Big tap by Carey. Painter's the one in front. He's appealing for the free, not going for the ball. So the Glenelg player grabs hold of it. Well done by Campbell.
Young Rod Campbell playing his first A-grade game for the Glenelg League side. Come over from West Perth. Fry was the one for the tap. He managed to also take the ball as it came down to Hargraves. He gives it to Radbone, who turns onto his left foot. He'll give it to Painter running through. He's got Whittlesea going. That's a better hand pass. Whittlesea should be able to find somebody here. In fact, he's gone out into the open looking for Motley, who's marked it. That was on all the time. Obviously, the instructions are to give Motley a bit of room.
Davies led for the short kick. That was a great bit of play at half-back by Hargraves. Just gave the ball off quickly, set up the play.
Peter Motley, yet to score a goal in this game. 6 goals last week. Look at that ball. The wind take that ball. Davies, was he held? He would have thought so. Out of bounds. Forward pocket position for Sturt. They'd like a goal at this stage. They're 9 points down against the wind.
They've done well though this quarter.
Davies gives the shot. And the Bay crowd loves it.
I think he's just too strong myself. I don't think that Farquhar tried to even hold his ground. He just sold out.
Farquhar to the outer side. And a courageous attempt there by Hall. Craig for Sturt. Ducks. Plays it across. Gives Rathbone a bit of a run at it. Peter Reid behind, defending well. Oh, lovely one.
That's a reportable offence. You're not allowed to do that.
And in fact, the umpire's gone up and had a word with him.
I would think so.
Yeah, Stringer spoken to for an unnecessary throw to the ground, and it is a reportable offence in the book. But I would think the free will be paid just down the ground to Motley. He'll look for Davies. Davies could be in trouble here, though. Plenty of players in front of him. Derrington with a free shot at the goal, and it's through. Yeah.
Well, I missed who gave that handball for Sturt's second goal there. 2-3, Glenelg 2-6. But that was a wonderful little give off the ground. I think it might have been Craig Filkey again that just picked that up and dropped up a short handball to Jim Derrington and just gave him a gimme goal. Very good bit of play by Sturt in the full forward area. Some very foolish play though by Alan Stringer. That's unnecessary. He's just leaving himself vulnerable to be rubbed out, and no team can afford to have their key centre half forward out of the play.
Almost into time on already. Campbell on the phone. The Bay's not doing a lot with this breeze in the first quarter. Comes to ground, kicked off. Sturt back into attack. Motley should be first to it. He'll pick it up. Well shepherded onto the right boot. The chip's underway looking for Filkey. Oh. Smothered away. Well done by Walsh.
Yes, that mark was paid. The one to Hargraves in the centre wasn't. So it's all luck. It was very well played though by the Gavin Walsh.
Walsh's kick down the grandstand sides looking for Carey. Kept his eyes on the ball, thumped away by Rathbone. Comes to Barber, he's got time to pick it up, and he's got running player support from Whittlesea.
Incident behind the play. Hargraves and Carey having a bit of a shoving match behind the play. The umpire moves in, calms them down.
We'll see a bounce up on the half-forward line for Sturt.
Well, they'll certainly need to keep their cool. They haven't done well this quarter.
It'll be Motley against Seabohm. Comes to Seabohm, takes it out of the air. Over the shoulder, the umpire says. Seabohm will get 15 metres as well. In fact, there's more players down. Barbary's on. We shall see whether umpires stay out. They are at the moment. Barbary still having a word to say to Doothey.
If the umpires stay out and report players, and everyone that runs in gets reported, then the players won't run in. It'll be up to the coaches to make sure their players stay on the road.
Seabohm plays on. Carey's been left unattended. Oh, he dropped the sitter. McKechnie did well. He's on the ground now. The two big players fighting for it. Carey's going to give away the free kick to McKechnie.
Well, he grabbed McKechnie in the first place. The umpire didn't pay that, and then he gave another free. Peter Carey not in good form.
McKechnie comes towards the forward pocket. Motley went early. He was in front. Comes to Derrington. Couldn't do much with it. Bay players quick to get on top of the ball and bounce up again. Half forward line for Sturt. Played 27 minutes of the first quarter. 3 points the difference in favour of Glenelg. Be Motley again against Seabohm. Comes to Hall. He's got Simons loose in the centre. He's got plenty of time. He'll be looking upfield. Drives up towards the half forward, looking for Kernahan over the top of his head. He'll be first to it though. It's a hurried kick onto his boot. Will it sit for Nichols? It won't. Minor score to the Bays. 2 goals, 7 now Glenelg. 19 points. Sturt 2-3, 15.
Kick in from Andrew Downs. Comes again onto the grandstand flank. Hargraves was the one attempting for Sturt. It's cleared back in by Holst, right into the square again. Big clearing punch by Downs. Reid with the ball for Sturt. He can't get hold of it. And it's out of bounds.
Sturt need to hang on now just for a few more moments. They've defended well. Glenelg on the other hand need a quick goal just to settle themselves a little bit.
Kernahan will contest this. Frost up against him. Former Bay player. Fry tried to go through, and the umpire says it's held to him. Ball up.
John, I'd like to have had a look at that. I took my eye off that, what Eddie Fry was doing then.
He tried to bust his way through the pack. Yeah.
Yes, I thought he dropped that cold.
Ball's about 40 metres out on the half-forward line for Glenelg. Kernahan grabs it out of that pack. Pushes it forward. Sturt with a chance. Frost missed it. Gets another go at it. Fry's got his head over the ball. He pushes it forward. No one can get a really good run at it, and so out of bounds it goes again.
That's on the full, actually. Handballed onto that leg. That's bad luck. Rathbone handballing the ball straight onto Doothey's leg.
So Frost will clear. It breeze right in his face. There it is. The first quarter over here. Glenelg, 2 goals, 7. Plenty of shots, not accurate enough. Couldn't get hold of the wind and get their direction right. They're in front, though. Sturt a 2-goal 3. Young David McKechnie to ruck for Sturt. He was taken off fairly early in the first quarter, and Hargraves certainly held the Glenelg rucks better. Carey, though, wins it easily for the Bays. Stringer couldn't pick it up. Being pushed forward now by Duthie for Glenelg. Darrington over the ball. He shoves it out to Heinrich, who's down from the back pocket, over the half-forward line for Sturt. But a good saving mark there. That's John Seabohm. He quickly plays it onto Walsh. Carey, handballs on, but it's covered well. Glenelg over the centre line now. Kernahan, big influence in the first quarter. Couldn't get hold of it then. Stringer it is. He's looking for Nichols, and Nichols has taken it. 1 goal to Nichols so far. Just had another shot. Much more difficult one. Out of bounds on the full. He lines up, and he should score his 2nd goal. And Glenelg's 3rd. Greg Nichols played well in a couple of the Escort Cup games, which was fairly quiet last week. And that's a shocker. It's all right, though. Shit, he must have driven it hard enough. Shockingly good enough. And it's a goal to Greg Nichols. It looked terrible off the boot to me, Robert, but it's good enough when it goes through the middle.
Yes, Glenelg coming into attack. They'll certainly be looking for the marking power up forward of their big full forward in Nichols. Centre half forward at the moment, Stephen Kernahan. He's outstanding in the centre half forward position. They've got him out of the goal square, and I think that'll suit them better to have him in the direct line of the kick rather than resting in a forward pocket.
4 minutes gone of the second quarter. Glenelg have hit the front by 4 points. McKechnie against Carey. Carey's big weight got the tap to Marshall. He's got pace, well shepherded by Duthie. Bays up towards half forward. Kernahan at the back. Too good for Frost on that occasion. Kernahan now about 30 metres out. He's gone short, looking for Hall. Has found him. He's about 30 out to 40 metres out. Played on short again. Oh, Holst completely unattended. Thought about the handball. In fact, the umpire's called play on. Holst runs around onto the right foot. And Holst has got his first goal. Glenelg's 4th. They're 4 goals, 7. Sturt 3-3.
Bit of confident play there by David Holst. He dummied the handball, went the handball over the top. He wasn't really confident in his first kick, but then he just brushed aside the tackle with his strength and scored the goal. I would think that Sturt will be well advised to get David McKechnie either running at the ball a lot more strongly than he is at the moment, or secondly they've got to get Hargraves back on the ground, because it was Hargraves who came on in the first quarter and held the play very well. David McKechnie is having a bit of trouble with Peter Carey. Carey's absolutely dominated the ruck in his first few minutes of the second quarter.
2 quick goals to Glenelg in this second quarter, with Carey winning the ruck again. To Stringer. Forward go the Bays through Duthie. Out to McGuinness, who has another shot, and it's through. The umpire says it was going to go through. He was on the line, right on the line. Andrew Downs takes the mark.
It stopped dead. It was floating. Tony McGuinness, unfortunately for him, miskicked the ball, and it dropped short.
Downs miskicks on the way out, but Hollis has a chance. He flicks it around to Pake, who turns well. He's in a bit of stripe. Gets it to Whittlesey, though. Good hand pass on to Fry, who push it over the centre line for Sturt. Into the half-forward line for them. Filkey. Davies flicks it out to Howard. It didn't go anywhere, though. Good hand pass clear by the Bay player in Farquhar. The umpires
Davies.
And the player to take it looks like Salisbury.
Yes, he ran straight in and just pushed him in the head. Just pushed him out of the road too high.
Salisbury now for Glenelg. Kick underway towards the centre wing position, looking for Carey. Simons from behind. Geez, he got up early, got the sit, and has taken the mark over the top of the big players.
They've made up their mind to attack and keep running this quarter, Glenelg.
Simons, kick underway, that sits up, it's floating. Kernahan, good mark. He's had many possessions already. This is his 6th kick so far for the game. Towards the pocket, Holst sits back. Now gets it. It's a handball on towards 12-3. One bounce. Dummies. Gets the handball across. Hall. Goal. 20 metres out. Tony Hall. Glenelg 5 goals, 7. Sturt 3-3. And that's Hall's first goal.
And Downs. I think you'll find it was Downs who hit Stringer from behind. And Stringer is not a well person.
No, he's having a rest there in the forward pocket. He hasn't moved. That was a very fine little bit of play there by Glenelg. Running the ball on confidently out of that half-back line and from the centre of the ground where Peter Carey's taken complete control of the game. And at this point of time, they are looking a very confident side, much different from that which took the ground in the first quarter. And the stretch has been brought out to Alan Stringer, who's lying prostrate on the ground in the forward pocket. I think he's moving again. What actually occurred, I didn't see.
Yeah, I saw it, and it was a behind-the-play incident, all right. Stringer shepherding as that ball ran forward to the Bay goal. And Downs was the offender for Sturt. Stringer's up, though. And Stringer is having a word with Mr. Downs, I think. He's coming across.
Well, if he was concussed, I doubt he would have been having a word.
Back in the centre of the ground with McKechnie against Carey, who wins it yet again. Carey dominating in this quarter. Radbone clears to Sturt, however. He'll get onto his left foot. He's got a bounce. That's 1, 2. Runs around. And a big kick for goal. And it's through, I think. Just drifted off. Tried to do it on his own and almost made it, but not quite. 1 point only to Radbone.
It's very good play by Radbone. He can do that. He's got terrific pace, and he's a very long kick.
Farquhar, not sure where to go at this stage, comes to the grandstand side, allows for that breeze. Carey in front, McKechnie from behind. Tapped off by Hollis.
McFarlane on one leg there.
Yes, he is. I don't know what happened. It
might have just been a boot by the look of it. Yeah, it's just his boot, I think.
Gee, looks as though he pulled a muscle, didn't he?
Throw in on the half-forward flank. Carey from behind, taps it back to where it came from. We'll see another ball in. Good crowd here at the Bay.
It certainly is.
What did you say, Robert?
Or I would say 10.
Ball in. Motley against Carey. Bays will get out of this. Will they? They won't. It's ball in the lap of Howard. Motley was looking for the lead in the centre. Howard plays on. It's gone in that direction. Davies couldn't take it. Comes to Craig. Trying to bustle his way through. Looking for a free kick. Umpire calls play on. Many players over the top of the ball, and we'll see a bounce up. Only about 12 metres out from goal. This will be vital, this bounce.
Just short.
An awkward one too. Stumped away.
Wayne Stringer
comes to Hall. This goes to ground. Walsh couldn't do anything with it. We'll see a ball in again in that left forward pocket for Sturt.
Starting to get a bit scrambly now, which is what we perhaps expected, but once one team or the other gets their hands on the ball, they're certainly trying to move it quickly.
Third ball in almost in a row. Big leap from behind by Seabohm. Dumps it down now. McGuinness with a chance to get the Bays out. Quick handball. Looks like McFarlane backing up. Tried to get it back to McGuinness. Free kick will go in the way of McFarlane.
No need for Craig to touch him then either. McFarlane was almost falling because of the pace he was running.
McFarlane takes his time with his kick from the half-back flank position. Grandstand side for Glenelg. 10 minutes in, Glenelg have kicked 3 goals against the Breeze. Sturt have only managed to put on 1. Big pack. The umpire's found one. Carey.
He marked it.
Carey, nice little punch to Holst. Holst turns. Good ball forward, looking for Campbell. And Campbell almost took that. Kernahan tries to run through. He's bundled off it. And it's Tater pushing the back. Kernahan asked to go right around, and there it is again. Campbell this time, and Heinrich having a little bit of a go behind the play. Campbell's pretty willing. He's pushed Heinrich into the ground, and he'll get a free.
Free kick against Campbell. He's not allowed to interfere when the ball's not within 5 metres.
There's absolutely no doubt about that. If the Bay supporters were watching that, Campbell pushed Heinrich into the ground. Heinrich's allowed to stand his ground, so he gets a free. Out onto the wing. Carey almost again. Big tackle there. Bay's unlucky not to get a free maybe there. Carey working hard now, pushes it out, but Motley's there. Motley ducking and weaving, still gets the boot onto it.
Did that well. He got hit in the chops on the way round.
To Craig, who's taken a good mark. Tempo of the game speeded up just in this last couple of minutes. 5th kick to Craig. He pushes it in, but a good defensive mark taken by Farquhar.
Farquhar played well last week, and he's doing it well again. 5th kick for Farquhar. It's a high floating one. Motley came in late from the side. Now has he paid the mark? was it come off hands? Looks like a dead heat, and we'll see a bounce up.
Motley's not happy. He reckons he had a goal.
He came in late, Robert, and almost seemed to get it on his chest. The bounces are underway. Motley goes high again over the top of Craig.
Carey again out of that pack. Gee, Carey's working hard now, Robert. He's changed the game in this quarter, has he not?
He certainly is playing well.
Ball in half-forward line for Sturt. Be Motley against Seabohm. Motley tried to drag it down, couldn't do it. Good tackle applied by Salisbury. Bays are doing well in defence. Many players over the ball. Play again congested in that forward pocket area. A further bounce. Glenelg 5-7, Sturt 3-4. Sturt need to score with the breeze. Tapped out, comes to Marshall. To Hall, he gets the tap through. Looking for Campbell. Over the top of his head, scored away by Radbone. It'll fall to Walsh, will it? Gets it away, tried to look for Stringer, didn't come off. The umpire's found a free kick.
It's interesting, he paid that as a throw. I think if Walsh had just let that drop out of his hand, the umpire's within his rights to call play on, because he had one arm held with no opportunity to get rid of it at all.
It's John Painter who's gone back to have a look at the goals for Sturt. They've only managed 2 shots with this breeze, and we're certainly well into the quarter by now. About the halfway mark in the quarter. Painter goes forward for another shot for the Blues, and it's a beautiful kick. Painter's first goal, Sturt's fourth. They got a 4-goal-4. They're behind Glenelg on 5-goal-7.
Yes, Glenelg a little bit unfortunate on that occasion to be caught holding the ball. Gavin Walsh was tackled at the exact moment that he took possession of the ball under his right arm. John Painter grabbed his left, held hold of his arm, and the ball was just thrown out just as a means to get rid of it. He panicked a little bit, but nevertheless, a magnificent kick by John Painter.
13.5 minutes gone in the second quarter. It'll be Kernahan against McKechnie. Kernahan went up early, got the tap into the muddy patch. Marshall couldn't do much with it. He's held to ground. We'll see a ball up, maybe even a throw up in that muddy patch.
See Hargraves getting ready. I think the sooner the better at the moment. Glenelg taking complete charge in the ruck.
Throw up. McKechnie couldn't do much with it. Holtz tried to take it, was bundled off the ball. McFarlane's in there. Eventually comes out in favour of Glenelg and straight into the hands of Hall. Just on the edge of the square, he goes to play on. That's high, could even bring rain. Hasn't gone that far. Hollis comes in and takes it now for Sturt. He's held on to, tackled very well. Derrington now drives Sturt up towards the full forward position. 2 Bay players there collided. Salisbury, Farquhar on the last lines, dragged off the ball. Pack converges. Davies was in there as well. And the free kick will go in the way of Bays.
Interesting decision back there on that half-back line. That mark to Paul Hollis could have been paid. The umpire couldn't blow his whistle quickly enough before he called play on.
Farquhar puts it into the half-back flank for Glenelg. Kernahan, another mark. Kernahan marking beautifully today. That's his 7th mark so far. Hargraves is on, as you see, standing that mark. Fry over the top for Sturt to clear. Painter to Radbone. Height, it's Motley, can't get hold of it. Cleared for the Bays. Beautifully pushed out there. Holst will run it out. He's going to have another go at it. Long, low kick, doesn't find his man. Glenelg still with a chance to go forward. McGinnis handled it beautifully. He has a chance, he settles down, and he's missed it. Tony McGinnis 1 point. That takes Glenelg to 5-goals-8. And Sturt are on 4-4. Glenelg have kicked 3-goals-3 this quarter against the breeze.
Downs kicks off now for Sturt. Didn't look that well, and he's put it straight in the arms of Simons.
Why he's kicking off this side of the ground, I wouldn't have a clue.
And old Hollis looks like he needs a needle and cotton at half-time to sew that jumper back up. Simons goes short. Found looks like Nichols led out well. It's on a fairly acute angle. He'll be kicking directly into the breeze if he does have a shot at goal. Few leads coming up front. Nichols kicks underway. Aims towards the square. Big thump away from behind. Comes to Heinrich. Went to thump it instead of taking it. Oh, the umpire's given a free kick the way of Sturt.
Holding the man. Philip Heinrich's going to kick it to the other side of the ground,
where he's found Fry. In fact, the umpire will call him to come back and probably kick over the mark.
I don't think he has to. That wasn't a kick out of bounds on the full. He came inside the boundary line and in fact just kicked that across. Whether the umpire had given him 10 metres, it doesn't look as though he has.
Well, he couldn't go back to Fry on that occasion because he was then well coloured. Kernahan from behind comes to Campbell, gets it across to Holst. He's had a few touches this quarter. Bays with plenty of space here to Kernahan. puts one up in, allowing for the breeze. It'll fall in the square. Carey couldn't take it off hands. Could be a goal. It is. Oh, playing. Stringer it was that got that goal. Fry not happy, complaining with the goal umpire.
I think Eddie Fry thought that he completely missed the ball, the player. But only had to touch his foot on the way down, and Alan Stringer was awarded the goal. Didn't take him long to recover from his concussion, if that's what he had.
It was Stringer's first goal. Glenelg 6 goals, 8:44. Sturt 4-4-28.
17 minutes into the quarter, and Glenelg, a good quarter for them against the breeze. They've kicked 4 goals against it now to Sturt's 2. That time it's Hargraves who wins the knock. Glenelg clear it back, but Hollis, shirtless Hollis almost, chance to run it out on the wing. It finally sits up for him. He turns onto his left boot, scrambles it to Barbary. He can't take it. Salisbury keeps it in. The pack forms right on the boundary line, half-forward flank position on the grandstand side. The umpire will bounce it. Seabohm and Motley were the contestants. Holst under it, takes a fine mark. It, in fact, was bumped off it at the last minute. Certainly waited for it. Painter to Hollis, to Howard. Looks for Motley, he's on his own. And there it is.
Just amazing what a little bit of cool-headedness does when he gets the ball. Brendan Howard hasn't had a lot of touches today, but that pass across to Motley, just had a quick look and then coolly kicked it onto him, whereas another player could have 20 kicks and never achieve that from one of them.
Peter Motley's 8th kick for Sturt, and they badly need this one. And it's no good. Peter Motley not pleased with himself, neither should he be. 1 point only. Sturt, 4 goals 5. Behind Glenelg on 6 goal 8.
Peter Motley not looking confident with his kick. That's the 3rd point he's kicked for the match.
Farquhar for the base. Went to go short there to Stringer. Changed his mind. Then thought about Salisbury and changed his mind again. Eventually gets the kick underway. Looking for Kernahan. Big pack fly. It'll come off hands in Sturt's favour to Howard. Onto the right boot towards half forward. Stringer couldn't take the mark. Comes to Filkey. Hurried handball looking for Davies. Tried to tap it on towards Painter. Painter eventually got it. How he did, I don't know, but he's got onto the boot. His 2nd goal to Painter. Sturt 5-4. Glenelg 6-8.
Good teamwork there by Sturt. Rick Davies finishing it just with a little knock on to John Painter. He was prepared to go against the body coming against him, Rick Davies, and just punched it on. And Painter scouting the pack very well, recovering from the play he'd just taken part in, scored the goal. Well, Peter Hargraves has come onto the ground and he's immediately had a couple of knocks, and I think it may help to quell the thrust by Glenelg.
Sturt 9 points down. Hargraves against Kernahan. Hargraves wins it. Into the open it goes. Hall will chase it. Sits up for him. He turns it out onto the wing for Glenelg. Chasing it there through was Heinrich to Whittlesey, who runs into trouble. Barbary gets a chance for Sturt. Onto the left foot to centre half forward. Under it is Salisbury for the base. He couldn't quite get onto it with the wind. Derrington has a chance to put it over to Filkey. Filkey looks at it and it's through. Quick reply by Sturt. 2nd goal to Filkey. Sturt back in the game on 6 goal 5. Just 3 points down now in Glenelg.
Well, Peter Hargraves then took that knock out of the centre, followed up his own play. There's a little bit of negative feeling in the centre, obviously, amongst the Sturt players, because for the first 15 minutes of the quarter, Big Peter Carey took charge of the ruck, and then Stephen Kernahan came on, and he also did the same thing. But on that occasion, Sturt went into attack. Hargraves in the ruck. Can he now beat Carey?
20.5 minutes gone. Hargraves back in ruck for Sturt, doing a great job. He's up against Carey. Carey got the tap, didn't go that far though. Glenelg going backwards to McGuinness. He just gets a hurried little right foot kick away, looking for 12-3. Kept his eye on the ball. Will he pick it up and play on? He has. The umpire wouldn't allow it. He'll have to go back over the mark.
Must have paid the free.
No, he didn't. You have to kick it over the mark on a mark. You can only play on a free kick.
12-3 looking for Marshall. Whittlesey did well, but Marshall did even better and has taken the mark. Good relieving take there by Marshall. This will be his 10th kick.
Yes, Keith, what happens is if there's a free kick paid, then the umpire doesn't have to pay the free kick if it means penalising the side. If a player takes a mark, then he's got to play on from behind the mark.
David Marshall, 23-year-old, his 10th kick for the game. Plenty of time. Nice looking drop punt. He'll get the distance Has he got the accuracy? He hasn't. Minor score, Glenelg 6 goals 9, Sturt 6 goals 5.
Gee, you'd have to feel a bit unlucky having kicked that magnificent kick over the left-hand post, and I don't think it even deviated an inch in flight. He kicked it so well.
Downs will kick off for Sturt. Coming to the outer flank, Barbary. Barbary settles it down. Brian Hargraves giving him a lead. Onto the wing position. Hargraves almost takes it. Chance for Holst. Fries over the top of him, though.
That's ridiculous by Eddie Fry. Why he's doing...
Oh, yeah, beauty. Holsty decided to get him out of the way in a big hurry. And 15 metres as well. David Holst. Forward for the Bays over their half-forward line. Kernahan's there against Frost, who almost marked it, should have marked it. Kernahan with a chance for goal. 1 point only. Bays stay in front, though. They go to 6 goal 10. And Sturt are on 6-5. Down.
He's going to kick it out on the outer side this time, and he's kicked it to the centre of the ground.
As Whittlesea comes to Duthie onto his left boot. Hooks it back to the pocket, looking for Nichols. He's well in front of Downs. Nichols will play on. He hits Stringer short in the centre. It was a shocking kick, though. Got on the arms of Reid. Plays on quickly now towards Painter. He's got time and support. Oh, awkward-looking kick. Painter should follow it through, though. Can he pick it up? Holst came in and met him heavily. Scooped through the legs. Players converging. Pake's in there. The umpire will give a free kick. Holding the ball in the way of Glenelg.
Against Craig.
Oh, no, he's going to give it over the shoulder. He pointed the other way. Neil Craig had the ball. Was tackled high, obviously.
Changed his mind. Craig goes long with using the breeze towards the full forward. Davies up from behind. Good mark by Davies. Too good for Farquhar on that occasion. We saw Davies get 6 last week. He kicked a record 151 last season. A chance to put his first on the board. He's only about 20 metres out.
What about that kick of Neil Craig's? Rick lobbed it in his hands. It was so good.
Covered a lot of ground. Davies straight over the top of the goal umpire's head. His first goal, 7 goals 5, Glenelg 6 goals 10.
Well, when the umpire looked as though he was going to give that free kick the other way, he pointed in the Glenelg direction to take the free kick, but Neil Craig was tackled a little high, and he got the free kick. And what a wonderful kick Craig is. He just controlled that ball across the goal, gave big Rick Davies the opportunity to run at it, and of course we all know just how good Davies' hands are, and Davies took the mark and kicked the goal. Well, Sturt seem to have settled just a little bit now. Peter Hargraves in the centre, doing a very good job for them. Ball's over the fence. Could be some time before we get back into the game.
Sturt have recovered well in the second half of the quarter to get back in the game. They were 2 or 3 goals down on Glenelg within the quarter, but they've now kicked 5 goals in the quarter, and accurate shooting using the breeze means that they're back with a point up. Carey against Hargraves. Neutralised. Painters picks it up, pushes it over centre half forward for Sturt. Filkey tried to push it forward. He's picked it up again. Filkey dives it out to Whittlesea, who has a shot and hits way off line off the side. Out of bounds on the full.
Greg Whittlesea getting down from the centre of the ground. Rick Davies trying to compete up there. Filkey working hard underneath him. Certainly keeping the Glenelg defence on their toes.
They've got a good supply of balls here at the Bay. Now here it is coming back out of the crowd again. Well, almost out.
There's 2 balls coming back. Apparently we've got them all back from the road. One's on the oval, 2 are on the oval.
Choice of 2. Rick Davies will have a look at this one, see if it's a reasonable one to play on with. No, doesn't like it. Yes, he does. He chucked it back.
What's Holst doing back there? He's playing centre.
David Holst is going to be the player to kick in for Glenelg. A big kick against this breeze. Right out onto the half-back line. Up high was Motley. Couldn't hold it in front of the pack. Umpires found a free. And it goes to Glenelg, who will push it out onto their wing position. David Marshall to take it. He steadies it down. David Marshall looking for Kernahan. In front was Frost. Eddie Fry has a ping at it. Can't get a kick, though. Kernahan underneath the pack there.
The competitiveness is certainly very strong out there this afternoon. This is a very good game. Players from both sides getting the ball very quickly. They're erring a little bit in their disposal at times, though.
Carey and Hargraves. Carey won it, but it goes to Craig. Craig works around the back of the pack. High kick. At McFarlane pushing it forward for Glenelg. Tackled vigorously was Marshall. He's still in there though. To Craig. Craig to Motley, pushes it on to Derrington. Derrington turns and has a look. It's gone out wide. Davies is in position. A little shove there to Farquhar. Is it going to be paid?
The other way.
Yes, it is. Yeah, Davies just gave Farquhar the nudge, try to get a better position on it. Michael Farquhar picks up a free.
Into time on second quarter. Farquhar goes out towards the outer side.
It's a long kick
for
into
Carey.
It's a long kick into the breeze too. He covered some 60 metres then, Rick.
There's not a lot of Farquhar, but he kicks out very well from full back.
I think that wind might have in fact died down a little bit.
Throw in. Carey against Hargraves. Hargraves thumps it backwards, went to Craig. And for Painter. Pulse coming through to Simons, to McGuinness. He's under pressure from Radbone. Duthie eventually comes in. Barbary there as well. Ball out of bounds again. Throw in almost on centre wing. Yes, the 27.5 minutes gone, and as you said, Robert, that windsock has just dropped a little at the moment.
It's gusty, if anything, I'd say.
Sturt kicking with the breeze. Stringer comes to ground. Bays with a chance now. Could have given the handball to McGuinness, but elected to bypass that player. Got up towards Kernahan. All out by himself. He could play on. He's got Nichols and Downs. Nichols is calling for it. Hall there as well. Motley from behind. Nichols couldn't pick it up. Stringer to McGuinness. Took his eye off it. Craig in there. McGuinness fighting hard. Campbell. Play a little scrappy.
Let's just make mention here what a wonderful bit of play by Peter Motley then to run back up there. I thought he'd come from centre half forward, but I think he's been shifted into the centre and Whittlesey to centre half forward. But he certainly got back into that defensive action very well then.
Bounced down half forward for the Bays. Kernahan got the tap, went straight to Craig. He was under extreme pressure straight away. Fry in there. Bounce up again, almost exactly the same position. Played about 3 minutes of time on. 1 point the difference, Sturt's favour. Bounce up. Be Frost, the two number 4s, and Kernahan to Craig. Tries to bundle his way through. Called play on. Heinrich for Sturt. They get out of trouble up towards the pocket area. From behind, well smothered. Carey coming in.
Painter beautifully forward.
Hargraves. Looks like he's going to get the free kick.
Good player, Hargraves. You see, he stayed back on Carey in the back play then to give Sturt something to kick to. So instead of Peter Carey being on his own, Hargraves was there with him, and it gave a little bit of competition, and he's been tackled high. It's an important kick with time on, well into time on, in fact. 4.5 minutes.
Peter Hargraves. Looking for Davies. Is he going to be paid? Yes, he is.
That's a great mark. That was the judgment of that mark must have been terrific. The player came across the front of him then, Keith, and another player from behind, and he was able to put a vice-like grip on it in the first take, and then he even had a second nibble at it when they knocked it out of his hands. Certainly a wonderful mark.
Rick Davies, 1 goal on the board now. Kicked it just a few minutes ago, late in the second quarter. His 4th kick and a goal. Second goal to Rick Davies, the 8th to Sturt. They go to 8 goal 5. They're in the lead now. Glenelg 6 goal 10.
Well, that was a very handy goal for the Blues. They just nosed out in front. They were 1 point in front. They've increased that to 7 points. 5 minutes into time on. It's been a long quarter. There's been a lot of action this quarter. Balls going over the fence. They keep going over and going back. But Sturt and the half-back line, Eddie Fry's done a couple of very good knocks today, boys, from that half-back line. He knocked 2 balls on that occasion to Neil Craig in that previous passage of play that got Sturt running into that forward line. Philip Heinrich's playing quite well in the back pocket still. He's having a very good season. He was shifted there last year late, and he's certainly proven to be a very good player in the back pocket.
Bounce up into time on. Could be another thriller here down at the Bay. Awkward looking bounce. Didn't favour either of the two ruckmen. Eventually comes to Motley. Maybe having a run on the ball. Gets a hurry kick up towards half forward.
He's playing centre, Rick.
Seabohm couldn't do anything with it. May have got a push in the back. The umpire did see it. So Seabohm now on centre half back for Glenelg.
He's playing well, isn't he?
Good game. They could do with a goal though. It's come out very wide looking for Simons. Good jump by Simons. May have hurt a leg. Just holding the right thigh. Looks all right. He's got up anyway. See the look on his face. Goes on towards the centre. Unattended. McFarlane. Comes towards the pocket area looking for Nichols. Oh, could have been pushed out. play called on. Eventually comes to Stringer. It was a scoop. Bay crowd not happy at all with that decision.
The umpire's right in front of it. He was certain of it too. The umpire, he just said he threw it to him. Obviously hit it with an open hand.
Fullback Downs. Over the centre for Sturt. Hargraves in front, couldn't take the mark. From behind McFarlane for Glenelg, then Holst. Holst will clear. Carey's got a look at it. Nice pass over the head to Simons, running down the wing to half forward. Fry stops it. And a free played to Nichols against Downs. Nichols pushes it into Kernahan, who lines up. And yet another mark to him, playing brilliantly today. See, that's his 9th mark.
That kick favoured him very well too, didn't it? It went right across to the front of him. I don't know whether it was aimed to be in that direction, but it was perfectly placed. The kick, it just drifted with the breeze, and it just gave Kernahan first run at the ball.
Plenty of touches for Stephen Kernahan. His 13th kick coming up, an important one for them. Chance for the Bays to go in. Only a few points down. It's a beautiful kick. The umpire doesn't move. Stephen Kernahan's first goal. Glenelg go to 7-goal 10. Only just behind Sturt on 8-goal 5.
I think Sturt might be worrying a little bit about the fact of getting David Frost to come up and play for them from Glenelg. I'm sure that he doesn't have the ability to go with Stephen Kernahan. He's a tall lad, but he's not getting anywhere near the player. It's the only hope they've got, those Sturt, is to get Kernahan away from the play somehow or other by spoiling away from him if possible. But we can't doubt Stephen Kernahan's ability. He's one of the greatest marks in the history of football, and he's played well, and we're 33 minutes into this second quarter.
So it's been a long quarter. We've seen several balls lost in the crowd. Bounced down. 33 minutes gone of the second quarter. Awkward bounce favours Carey. Gets a big thump only as far as Fry. Couldn't trap it. To 12-3. Over towards Stringer. He's looking for supports. Got it in Campbell. Back towards 12-3. He's got time to pick it up. He's under pressure from Fry. Checks. Comes back. Fails Marshall. They got there eventually, Glenelg. It took them a while to get there. Several short little handballs, but Marshall eventually marked.
He's the right man to have the ball too. He's a very, very good kick.
It'll be his 13th. The siren's gone. Important one for Marshall. Glenelg trailing by a point, kicking into the breeze in the second quarter here. Very vital goal. Marshall will take time over this. He would love to kick it. He's about 45 metres out. Oh, it's a shocker. Won't even make the goal square area. So at half-time, Glenelg 7 goals 10, trailing Sturt by 1 point. Sturt 8 goals 5, 53.
I'll take it.
All right.
Umpire Kinnear to bounce the third quarter here at Glenelg Oval. With the Bays only 1 point down. Carey pushes it forward for Glenelg, tries to find Hall. He's kept it in front of him. Radbone clears it out, only to find Stringer over the top to Hall. High tackle, was it? Play on, says the umpire. Eddie Fry to clear for Sturt.
He ducked his head, that's why he wouldn't have been paid the free kick. So Hollis gets it on the wing to Pake. Pake back to the centre of the ground. Carey's there. There's some indecision between he and Simons. Carey gets it back to Simons.
Through McGuinness now, Glenelg. He's got time, a left handball, back to centre. Bays drive up towards the forward pocket area. Stringer's looking for the crumbs from behind, didn't come off. Well done, Sturt. Fry now, smothered handball, chance to relieve again. Hurried kick, the breeze might catch this one. Is it out of bounds on the full, almost a dead heat?
Brought up the chalk.
Yeah, that's in.
I don't know, McEnroe may have argued against that one.
He would have.
Ball in. Hargraves holds from behind, gets a big thump, comes towards Duthie. They won't get there in time. We'll see another ball in. Stringer was the other player coming in. The Bays have made progression though, about 20 metres around the grandstand side. Important quarter for the Bays, kicking with the breeze. Kernahan got the tap down. Painter got a good handball away. Sturt come out of trouble. Looking for Howard. McFarlane from behind. Howard couldn't take it. McFarlane dives on. It's got Carey looking for the handball. McFarlane can't get out. Eventually through big Carey's legs. Picked up by Craig. He's held on to and gets the free kick.
Lovely pick up by Craig. He had the ball anyway. Got tagged.
What about Howard? The way he got out from underneath the player's body. I don't know how he did that.
Craig plays on. Looking for Filkey. Couldn't take it. Ball in.
forward line for Sturt on the grandstand side, just into this third quarter. Carey against Hargraves for Sturt. Carey wins it, goes into a pack though. Filkey tried to push it out, over the shoulder, round the neck and everything. Not paid to Salisbury. Plenty of power going on, and the punches are flying again.
He ducked his head though, that player, for the free kick. The umpire's not paying that. They're supposed to stand up straight, and the umpire's been pretty consistent with that today. There's been several players grabbed around the neck.
Wayne Stringer.
Ducking.
Wayne Stringer back right into the centre for Glenelg. His brother Alan Stringer tries. Craig gets it over. Only to McGuinness though.
Must be colourblind, Neil Craig.
Stringer. Doothy. His kick's offline. Two-man contest out there. Simons runs forward with it. He gets a wild kick away, but he's got players behind him. Oh, a long run out for Frost to clear it, but 2 against 1. Kernahan to Holst. Holst will have a shot. And it looks good. Holst's second goal. Glenelg hit the front. They're 8-10 in front of Sturt on 8-5.
Well, for some unknown reason then, Neil Craig panicked a little bit on the centre wing when he really wasn't under a lot of pressure. He could have jammed it onto his boot, and it went back into the centre of the ground. And Tony Simons showing some of the skills that he has. He's got great feel for his teammates too, and he took that ball in the centre of the ground and snapped it around the corner to find a teammate. It was very well done.
One straight kick the difference. Glenelg in front by 5. Kernahan against Hargraves. Hargraves got up early, got the tap down into the muddy patch to Painter. Looking for support. Gets a quick handball out, favours Doothy. Gets onto the right boot up towards the full forward position. Heinrich, safe pair of hands. Comes towards the outer grandstand side wing. Stringer took his eye off the ball. Always met heavily by Hargraves. Side of the head.
Yeah, I thought that was hip and shoulder. I don't think there was anything in that. He just moved him off the ball.
Stringer plays on, chips one away. Looking for Kernahan. In front again, Kernahan. He's taken many marks. Back 10. Very good in the air, big tall player.
That was a lovely kick by Stringer.
Kernahan now probably about 40 metres out. Right boot, drop punt, it's long enough, looks good. Oh, it's just faded away with the breeze and hit the post. Minor score to Glenelg, and Kernahan there, 8-11. Move along to 59 points. Sturt 8-5, 53.
Downs will kick out for Sturt. Comes out onto the grandstand side. Carey high. Hargraves behind him though, kicked it out of his hands. It's like Stringer under there. He can't get it. Flicked out by Carey. Whittlesey with a chance for Sturt. Goes backwards to Fry. Fry kicks over the pack. Craig will mark it. Craig plays on to Derrington. Derrington with a chance to run it down over the wing. Barbary in the open on his own. Now he's got Howard. Big handball to Howard. Howard looks at the goals. Well tackled by Salisbury, but not before the kick was away. Filkey trying to mark it over the top there. But 1 point the result. Sturt's first score for the quarter. They go to 8-6. They're 5 points behind the Bays.
Farquhar to kick in for the Bays. It's a big screw punch. Jeez, he's almost kicked that to the centre of the ground. Carey thumps it on again. Pake first to the ball. He's well tackled by Hall. Twelftree goes in over the top. Picked up by Doothy. The umpires will call play back.
Who's going to get
a free kick? We're not sure which umpire has control at the moment. They're both looking at each other.
Yeah, Reid gets the free. I thought Pake should have got the first one. They missed that, but Reid was a bit fortunate. He fell over and then brought players down on top of him.
So it'll be Reid on the edge of the centre square. Into the breeze. Punches it. Up Whittlesey in front of Carey. Chipped in. Goes to ground. Got players running now in Barbary. He's going to have to be quick onto the right boot towards centre half forward. Motley's there. Seabohm from behind. McFarlane gets a handball away to Walsh. He goes out wide looking for Simons. It'll be Simons against Hollis. Thought about going around Hollis. Eventually plays on. It's a long handball to Marshall. Should go back to Simons. Does, but it wasn't that good. Simons recovers. Hurried kick up towards the pocket area. Hall's there. Off fingers. Backed out of bounds on the full. Penalty free kick.
That's Frost who will recover for Sturt. He'll take the kick in and go down the outer side. He looks for Hargraves against Carey. Neither of them can mark it. And it's held up with Marshall being held. So the umpire will bounce. Tight game at the moment, only 5 points in it. Oh, Carey gave the shove to Hargraves. And he gets a 15-metre as well, because Peter Carey wasn't too pleased about the decision.
Well, he
gave him an extra nudge.
just slapped him across the face with a forearm.
Hargraves plays on to the half-forward line for Sturt. Filkey the mark. Craig Filkey, very effective player for Sturt. Pushes it up to Davies, who's in position. Could have taken it, but didn't. First off it though, Derrington runs into an open goal. That's Jimmy Derrington's second run like that, picking it up off the pack. His second goal. Sturt go to 9 goals 6, and that means they're just in front of the Bays on 8 goal 11.
Well, Craig Filkey showed us then just what the wind is. It's not much if you're a wonderful kick. Like his timing of that kick into the forward pocket to Rick Davies was an exceptional one. And then off hands from Davies to Derrington, like a true rover, ran in for a very easy goal.
Bounce underway, 8 minutes gone in the third quarter. Both ruckmen missed it. Paul doing it well, looking for support. Looked for McGuinness, didn't come off. To Craig. Stringer got in his way. Well done, Craig. Onto the left boot, looking up towards Davies. Should go over there. Heads Derrington again. Will he get it off ground? He can't. Picked up by Farquhar. Relieves to McFarlane. The Bay should get out of trouble. He checks Farland. McFarlane gets the kick towards the centre of the ground. Should have been taken. That mark, it wasn't. Barbary. Quick little handball. Will come across now towards Hargraves. Well, thought about the handball.
Whoa,
eventually gets it away. In plenty of trouble. Hollis. McFarlane.
Hollis cannot get near the ball. Ricky's will not go for it at all.
McGuinness can though. He's fast. Gets it across to Hall. McGuinness backs up well. He's run about 100 metres. Look at the pace. Oh, well, Collett though.
That's holding ball. He was bouncing the ball. He should have been holding ball then.
Plays allowed to go on. Carey's got it. Simons up towards the forward position. Kernahan's going back with Nichols. Down from behind. Kernahan's kick smothered. In fact, the mark's been paid too high, was it?
Yes.
To Nichols. Another important kick coming up for Nichols. Playing in his 5th league game this year for Glenelg. Kick looks good. He's allowed for the breeze. 3rd goal to Nichols. Bays move along to 9 goals 11, 59, Sturt 9-6, 60, 1 point. I'll get that right. 9 goals 11 to Sturt 9 goals 6. 5 points the difference in favour of the Bays.
Yes, Paul Hollis on centre wing's having a great deal of trouble for Sturt, and they're taking advantage of it too, because Tony Simons is playing very well by contrast, and Paul Hollis has got a lift on that wing because they're going through Simons with a great deal of confidence at the moment.
Carey competing against Hargraves. Carey flicks it back. Comes out for the Bays. Stringer over his head to Radbone though. Radbone's got a run, and he's got a handball into trouble. That was Campbell, who is in the back. Fry in his back, says the umpire. So Campbell gets a chance to drive into the centre half forward position, looking for Carey. Frost in front. Carey pushes his way through the pack, gets a boot to it, but it's going to drift out of bounds on the foot. Played 7 or 8 minutes in this quarter so far, and it's anybody's quarter. Kernahan forces it out. Kernahan will go up against Frost this time. Frost, former Bay player, went over to Sturt this year. It's Campbell. He looks for Hall. Hall is tackled well by Radbone, and the umpire says that he scooped it out. Didn't hand pass it, so Radbone picks up a free.
Radbone's kick goes up towards centre. Motley and McFarlane maybe first there. Well done, McFarlane. Got the thump to Hollis. The muddy section of the ground to Howard. He's got Craig with plenty of room. Craig, will it sit? It does. He picks it up. Has a look for Davies. Eventually goes over the top of their head. Salisbury's coming in from behind. Saved a goal. Minor score to Sturt. They're 9 goals 7. Glenelg 9-11.
Neil Craig moving very well then across the centre to make position to receive, but Paul Hollis got a touch, and that's what Sturt want. They want him to lift on that outer side wing.
Coming up for 12 minutes into the quarter, and Farquhar with another big kick. He's been kicking beautifully out. Finds Carey almost in the middle of the ground. Carey to Stringer. Stringer doubles back. He'll push it over half forward, looking for Kernahan. Frost behind him clears. Heinrich to run it out for Sturt. Almost got himself into trouble with that attempt. McFarlane on the wing. Looks out for Simons. Kick's not accurate. Just out.
Philip Heinrich not keen to kick that ball then on the rebound play because of that very reason that McFarlane was up there, but then he was caught with the handball and he couldn't do that either.
That's Moskeny coming on for Sturt. Haven't seen him today yet. Played well so far in the Escort Cup games for them. Simons out there for Glenelg. Pushes it in towards full forward, looking for Nichols. Fry to clear for Sturt.
And Howard's come off, Keith, for Sturt. So we've got Moskeny on and Howard off.
Oh, a bit of excitement down there. Holston Heinrich. Whoops, there they go again. Heinrich the 3 and a 15-metre. Heinrich will push it out onto the outer side towards the wing for Sturt. Carey's there for the Bays. But it's John Seabohm with another fine mark.
He's done a great job at centre-half back for Glenelg today on Peter Motley.
He pushes it into centre-half foot. Kernahan and Nichols. Kernahan's the one who recovers. He can't get a decent kick at it. But over the shoulder, says the umpire, to Greg Nichols. Greg Nichols has kicked 2 goals so far, 3 goals in fact, 1 per quarter for the Glenelg side.
But you'd like a free kick for every time you get hit over the head as a high mark. I bet you Peter Carey saying, well, good on you, Greg. I've never had any free kicks like this for spoiling from behind and getting hit around the ear. But he's got the free kick and he's got to take advantage of them. He's a lovely kick too. Not this time. I put the mocker on him. It's always the way it goes. So he kicks it behind. 9-12 Glenelg, 9-7 to Sturt.
It'll be Downs to kick off for Sturt, wasting no time. Breeze will catch this. It'll be a big pack fly. Fry was in the middle, didn't quite take the mark. Ball held to body. Bounce up. Kernahan running in from a long way behind, didn't come to him. Hall tried to barge his way through. It's eventually tapped out. High looking kick that could go close to the boundary line. Just kept in. Carey taps it. We'll see a ball in. Sturt eventually working it away around this grandstand side. It'll be Carey against Hargraves. Hargraves just got it down. Wasn't a decisive tap though. Painter coming through. Gets it across to Rathbone. Seabohm comes in. And again we'll see another throw in. We're on centre wing this time.
The game's stalemated a little bit at the moment. There's not much happening. Players are starting to get a little bit tired. They played the first half at a furious pace.
Hargraves and Carey again. That time it was Stringer over the top though. But no one can get it clear. Players in the pack again.
Hargraves tried to put a little pass across then and just intercepted it by the Glenelg player. Well done.
2 goals for the Bays with the win this quarter so far. Sturt have kicked 1. Painter, he's got the ball, manages a kick out of the pack. He's looking for Barbary. Barbary and Darrington. Barbary's taken it. Good defence by Darrington. Back into the centre-half forward position. Whittlesey. Whittlesey shifted to centre-half forward sometime last quarter. Peter Motley in front. Big spoil. Felke with a chance against Gavin Walsh. Playing, the umpire letting the play go on, see if someone can get out with it. Big tackle by Felke on the Bay player.
That was a good tackle too, because every player that you see play football practically jumps on top of the player on the ground. Felke grabbed the player and rolled him over. It was an excellent tackle.
Half-forward flank position, outer side for Sturt. Davies is out there contesting. He hits it to McFarlane though. McFarlane pushes it out onto the wing. Craig is there for Sturt. Pate giving him a lead. Craig, long kick over the half-forward line, looking for Motley. Seabohm in front though. Motley comes out of the pack with it, turns, gets a little kick across, only to find an opponent.
Gavin Walsh.
Gavin Walsh now for the Bays. Drives him up towards the centre. Carey will have to run a long way. Does it well though. Plays on quickly now. The Bays a chance to drive up. McGuinness over his head and also Heinrich's head. Off hands. Kernahan played it out in front of him. Play allowed to go on, is it? No. Kernahan's won himself the free kick.
He must have handballed it Rex because he would have been holding the ball if he'd have bounced it. So he must have just a little handball.
Story was under pressure and did just that, Robert, and it's paid off for him because he's got the free kick. Only about 40 metres out, usually very reliable. Of course, Kernahan averaged 33 disposals the last season, and this is his 15th kick in this game.
Oh, beautiful.
Looks very good. Wind should bring that back. It has. Kernahan's second goal. Glenelg, 10 goals, 12. Sturt, 9 goals, 7.
Well, Glenelg need a couple of goals now. Sturt have held them again this quarter, even though they're kicking with the breeze, Glenelg. It's about 20 minutes into the quarter, or 17 at the moment. And Glenelg need to get some goals on the board. They need to be 2 or 3 in front with the last quarter coming up, with Sturt coming home with a fairly strong tail breeze. Stephen Kernahan's game at centre-half forward has been exceptional. He's come out into that position. He's been named in the forward pocket to rest, but he doesn't rest there at all. Tony Hall's resting up in that pocket with Tony McGuinness in the other pocket, and the two tall fellows playing at centre-half forward. That is Kernahan and Nichols at full forward.
And Hargraves for Sturt given a very tough assignment today because young David McKechnie for them hasn't been up to it. So he's had to take on Kernahan and Carey. Carey won at that time. But Paik will clear for Sturt from the half-back line. He goes for Heinrich. Heinrich, will he run on? He better not, because Simons is right there. Heinrich looking towards the wing, the outer wing position. Motley. No, play on, says the umpire.
That's the second time today Motley's marked on his chest and not been paid.
Hollis on the left foot, centres it. But a good mark taken by Salisbury. Bays have got the run out of defence. They come out through Stringer. String it out onto the wing. Ill-directed kick, though. Radbone almost had it. Out of bounds. Right on the centre wing position on the grandstand side.
See a throw in almost on centre wing. Hargraves still up against Carey. Hargraves looked to go to the front spot. Neither player getting the tap. Comes to Craig. He couldn't do a great deal with it. A little too high, says the umpire. And Craig will win himself a free kick, almost directly on centre wing, grandstand side.
He was holding the man initially too, I think.
Craig, drop punt. Looking for Filkey. Walsh. Looks like from behind. Not too happy about the way Filkey's back there. And of course he's won himself 15 metres. Crowd pleased with that. Naturally favouring the Bays Walsh, who drives them up to the forward position. Oh, big leap. Great mark taken by Hall. Kernahan thought about coming in from the side, but Hall got on top of his opponent and took a specky. Drop punt up towards the goal square area. Nichols is going in front. Couldn't take it off. Hands to 12-tree. He's brought to ground. Sturt getting desperate. Campbell's in there fighting. Playing his first league game for the Bays today. Haven't quite got the lights on here at Football Park yet.
Craig getting very deep in defence at the moment.
Only about 30 metres out from the Bay goal. The Bays could do with one. Almost a shot there. There's another chance. Holst, he can't get hold of it. Pushed out by Campbell. Over the top for Marshall. Then Marshall's kicked it out of bounds on the full.
Gibbs is on the ground. Leon 12-tree's off.
The kick-in will be taken by Paik for Sturt. Paik pushes it out onto the grandstand side. Painter in front.
Gee, that was a well-judged mark, Keith. He ran around that player to take that mark. Very well done.
Plays on quickly. Craig's underneath it. He was the player that judged it to perfection in the wind. He's picking up a few touches this quarter, Craig. 13th kick coming up. Towards the pocket there. Motley will get the late fly. Punches it away to Darrington, to Whittlesea, onto the right boot, up towards the vacant spaces. McFarlane coming back to Farquhar. Good understanding between these defensive players for the Bays. Puts it out to the vacant spaces. A race between Simons and Hollis. Simons couldn't pick it up, but taps it back. Salisbury collared by Hollis. Umpire calls play on. Barbary. He's got time. He's got Darrington in the centre. Misses that play towards the full forward position. Motley from behind. Play on. Farquhar. Well tackled. Still play on. Bays desperate. Farland gets the kick away. Won't go that far though because Craig will back up. Tries to keep it in. Holding the ball against Craig. Well done out. Stringer.
Good question as to whether he's out of play then.
Drives up towards the centre. Kernahan against Frost. Frost gets it back to Fry. Dummies around Stringer. Left foot kick. McGuinness underneath. Couldn't take it. Recovers well though. Just sinks the boot to ball. Looking for Kernahan. And Nichols. Has it been paid? It has. Well done, Nichols. Long way out. Should be able to drive it towards the goal square though. That's where Kernahan's going. And Nichols will wait until Kernahan gets himself set. Puts it out to allow for the breeze, but then hooked it back across his body. And it'll be out of bounds on the full. Penalty free kick for Sturt. About 5 metres around from their point post.
Yes, he certainly missed kicking when he's going for distance at the moment, Greg Nichols. He's a little bit worried, I think, about the distance rather than just doing the timing of the kick. He's trying to force that extra few metres. Neil Craig's exhausted up here at half forward for Sturt. He's just done a lot of hard work. He's going to have a rest for a while.
Frost the kick out. Fry pushes it out of bounds. 11 points the difference. Glenelg kicking better with the breeze this time. They've picked up 10 goal 12 they've kicked by now. They started off badly in the first quarter with the breeze, kicking only 2 goal 7. Hargraves to Fry. To the open spaces on the wing. Bounces badly for the Bays. Whittlesey gets a chance. He's hurled without possession by Hall. Plenty of vigour out there. It's been a tough quarter.
Hargraves off, McKechnie on.
Motley and Seabohm in a good contest. Salisbury blocked by Derrington. McFarlane to Walsh to Duthie. Bays forced out wider and wider and out on the full. Tough, tight tackling by both sides in this third quarter. Felke quick to play it on. Drives it in towards Davies. Davies is on his own in front. That's the kick again from Felke. Second time he's set it up for Davies.
Yes, the kick is only going to carry to Davies and get in quickly, one out against any opponent. He's going to have a good chance. It's the same as Stephen Kernahan at the other end of the ground. If their teammates can get the ball up to them, one out, they're certainly going to get their share of the marks.
Rick Davies pretty quiet today. Well hurled by Farquhar. This is his 5th kick. 2 goals on the board so far for Rick Davies, the captain of Sturt. And he's moved that one away too far. 1 point the result. So Sturt go to 9 goal 8. They're still behind Glenelg on 10 goal 12.
Well, Rick Davies then trying to allow too much for the breeze. Overcompensated. He pulled across his body slightly. Very important goal for Sturt too, because they've hung on pretty well this quarter, considering they're kicking into the breeze, and a goal at that stage, almost at the time on period, would have been a very handy one.
Farquhar again, another big kick to the centre circle almost. McFarlane picks it up. Looks up down the ground. Simons again loose. Been getting away from Hollis a fair bit over there to Marshall. He's got time onto the right boot. It's a long kick. Heinrich from behind did well against Campbell. We'll see a ball in right forward pocket for the Bays. Well, kicking with the breeze.
One thing's for certain. Tony Simons is playing a great game on that outer side on the centre wing. He's had a poultice of kicks.
Almost into time on, third quarter. Glenelg in front by 10 points. Tap down. Barbara's in there. Pretty congested. Off hands. Snap.
Holst.
From Holst, was it the big fella? Shouldn't be hard to miss him. Minor score to Glenelg, 10-13. Sturt 9-8.
Kick out by Andrew Downs. Onto this grandstand side at Glenelg. Under it, Radbone. Went up too early. Kastuthi stood his ground and takes a fine mark.
3-3 to 1-3 the scores this quarter.
12 kicks to Duthie.
3-3 to Glenelg, 1-3 to Sturt.
Big kick from Duthie, but no accuracy in it. 1 point the result. Glenelg to 10-14 over Sturt on 9-8. What sort of moves would Coach Campbell be thinking about at this stage, Robert?
I would think he'd be fairly happy with the way they're going about getting the ball. The team play doesn't seem to be all that smooth, though, from either side. It's the marking capacity up forward for Glenelg that's the thing.
There's Duthie again.
In front of Kernahan. Kernahan would have had his hands on it anyway. They both read it much better than their Sturt counterparts. Identical kick.
Identical mark.
He's running on the other line this time.
That's better. First goal to Chris Duthie, and a handy one for the Bays. They've got the wind in this quarter. We're in the time-on period. They go to 11 goal 14 to Sturt's 9-8.
Well, they've got a real ascendancy across the centre at the moment. Chris Radbone can't do anything on this wing of anything positive. That is, he hasn't let Duthie away that much, but Duthie's height's going to be important, particularly on that marking ability, with Sturt defending on this grandstand side of the wing, of the ground rather, and on this wing, Chris Duthie is able to take a good mark here and there. On the other side, Tony Simons playing very, very well, and David Marshall in the centre, just forming a good little link play in between with his good kick. He doesn't perhaps have the same penetration around the close-in quarters as the other players.
27 minutes gone of the third quarter. To be Kernahan against McKechnie. McKechnie got the big thump to Craig. He tries to twist, chips one away towards the vacant spaces. It wasn't a very good kick, and Duthie's chipped in. He'll play on, driving the bays up towards half forward. In front, looked like Stringer. Comes to ground, well tackled by Pate, got the handball away though. It's a left foot kick by Marshall. Could be a goal. It is. Well done, Marshall. His second. Glenelg's 12th there, 12 goals, 14, 18. Sturt 9 goals, 8.
Well, that's what David Marshall likes to do. He likes to just run into the forward line and be on the receiving end of the play as it comes in. He's not a defensive type of sentiment at all. He just loves to attack into that forward area, pick up the kicks off hands, which he reads very, very well, and he's a deadly kick. But Neil Craig making a very bad error then on the half-forward line for Sturt. A beautiful dodge, and then kicked it sideways across the ground with a cross breeze coming across him. And Sturt in all sorts of strife now. Glenelg in with a big chance.
Glenelg up to 4 goals clear. Well into time on in this third quarter. Big job for McKechnie. He wins another one in a row, but only to a Bay player. Radbone out here. Gives it to Derrington. Derrington forward to the half-forward line for Sturt. Motley against Seabohm. Motley tries to get it, can't take it. Well put out by Walsh. Carried over by Seabohm. Plenty of excitement from the Bay crowd now as they sense that with 4 goals up, they could have this one in hand with the home ground advantage. Davies will take this one against Farquhar. He gave it to Moskeni. Moskeni to Filkey. He's hung on to it. Still got hold of it. He's hanging on to it. Moskeni with a chase, but McGuinness too quick for him. McGuinness taken out by Whittlesey. Haul across. McFarlane for the Bays to Kernahan, and they go forward again. Big boot by Kernahan, and it's through. 5 goals clear the Bays go. They're on 13-14 to Sturt's 9-8. 3 goals to Kernahan.
Well, the Glenelg players absolutely ecstatic about that rebound play. They came out of their defensive action. Filkey trying very hard to keep the ball. They ripped it off him and took it straight down the centre of the ground to Stephen Kernahan, who's standing there unopposed. He was just coming onto the ball and Carey going off, and he's kicked truly, and Glenelg really in the box seat now.
Glenelg by 30 points into time on in the third quarter. Through players' legs. Stringer comes in. Craig foot-boot the ball. No one able to make headway there. We'll see a bounce up.
This bit of team play that's occurring now for Glenelg is what they've needed all along. They haven't been cohesive at all in their team play, but they're certainly putting it together now.
Bounce up. McKechnie and Kernahan come from the same side. Towards Filkey. Siren's gone. Three-quarter time, Glenelg 13-14, 92 points. Leads Sturt, 9 goals, 8, 62, a margin of 30. Siren sounds to start the last quarter here at the Bay. Glenelg in front by 30 points. They're kicking against the breeze. They must hold off Sturt. Derrington, high up in the air. Holst, has he been paid the mark? Has it gone 10 metres? It has. Plays on quickly, up towards half forward, looking for Kernahan, trying to work his way around in front there of Frost. Didn't come off. Comes to ground.
I don't think it'd hurt Rick, you know, if Coach Halbert put Peter Motley back to centre half back. In fact, I think it might help a great deal and get his marking power and a bit of his rebound from that half back line.
Bounce up. Kernahan got the tap down to Stringer. Had trouble picking it up. He's bundled to the ground by Frost. The umpire's found a free. It's going in the way of Stringer.
Eddie Fry just jumping on top of the player again.
Stringer goes to play on. Nichols is on a lead in the pocket. Over his head. Haul up high. Couldn't quite hold on to it. Gets the Nichols. It's a snap. Right foot snap. Hardly looked. Punches the air. It's a goal. He's 4th. Well done, Nichols. Playing a boomer today. An important goal into the breeze. The first to Glenelg this quarter. 14-14. Sturt 9-8.
Yes, that was a very handy goal for Glenelg, and I would say that really puts them on the road to victory if they weren't there already. They're playing very confidently. They're running at the ball. Sturt have no teamwork. Glenelg in 5 minutes of the third quarter found some teamwork.
Sturt chasing 6 goals down now, and Carey wins a big one. Only to Fry, though. Fry drives it forward for Sturt to the half-forward line. McFarlane under it, almost marked it. That's Felke for Sturt to Motley. Motley turns into the space. Over the heads of the players who took the front running. Farquhar to clear to McFarlane. McFarlane pushes it out on the grandstand wing. Hargraves, no. Interference by Whittlesey on David Marshall, says the umpire.
Well, Marshall wouldn't have touched the ball. Sturt are just doing some foolish things.
To Holst. Holst runs it up. Didn't get it over top of the player that he wanted to. Hollis pushes it out of bounds. Right on the wing position, grandstand side. Hargraves for Sturt. Carey for Glenelg. Craig in front. Pushed out by McGuinness. No, it's not. Derrington manages to hang on to it long enough for Pake. One hands it out of trouble. Whittlesey. He was met heavily there. And the umpire saw it. Let it go.
He gave a free kick in the last quarter for exactly the same thing.
Whittlesey still strong enough to take a beautiful tackle in on Stringer. To Pake. He's got Heinrich right out wide. Doesn't sit for him. Gives him a bit of trouble, but he manages to get round that player. Ducks again. Finally, to the centre half forward position for Sturt. Big player in front. Seabohm again. Played a magnificent game of centre half back. To Holst. Holst will have Carey running for him. Big Peter Carey. Wobbly kick. Hargraves couldn't hold it. McGuinness in front. Over the top to Stringer. Stringer clear. Carey again. Another hand pass. McFarlane. To Marshall. Marshall shows him the ball. Is he holding the ball? He is.
I don't think David Marshall has got the handball reflex. I mentioned a little while ago, he loves to dodge and turn. He's a two-sided player, and that usually gets him away. But if they get to him quickly, he's the one player that will stop the team running.
15th kick for Heinrich. Drives Sturt up towards centre half forward position. Davies is in there. Bay's come out of trouble, though, through Big Holst. Comes out towards this grandstand side. Be a big leap. Good mark. Well taken by Hall. Taken a couple of beauties this game. Plays on towards the pocket, looking for Carey. Looking for Kernahan, over the back. Couldn't do anything with it. Frost chips in. Scoop one out towards Downs. Hurried handball to Fry. Sturt now got time. Fry chips one away towards the grandstand centre wing position, looking for Hargraves. Off hands to Simons. To Ross Gibbs. One bounce. Short little chip. Will it stay in? No, it does stay in, but couldn't be controlled. We'll see a ball in.
Glenelg in full flight. The grandstand certainly urging them on where we are. The whole stand sensing that victory is right within their grasp.
Kernahan got the thump. Comes towards McGuinness onto his natural left foot. It's a big high kick. Will sit up. Nichols looking back to get onto it. Couldn't get near it, and Downs happy to thump it over.
Be a free kick to Andrew Downs. He was grabbed by Nichols as he was going for the ball. That's one of his hands, and he'll take the free kick from in the back pocket.
Downs brings it down the grandstand side. Looking for Hollis. Hasn't done much today. Manages to get hold of that one and kick it free. Competition out here between McFarlane and Moskeny. McFarlane wins it. Back to Hollis again. He didn't take that one. Pake over the ball for Sturt. Over centre. Looking for Motley. Even contest. That give, a beautiful give by Felke to Moskeny. He puts it in for Sturt. They desperately need that one. Sturt 10 goals 8. Well behind Glenelg on 14-14.
It was a beautiful movement. Moskeny reacted very quickly to the recovery play. He was in a play just a short time ago. Reacted to it, got back into the play quickly and ran through half forward, and that was a beautiful kick. He made it count when he got the opportunity, and that's what Sturt need. They need a couple of team plays now to get them back into the game. Glenelg running very well. They've got to stop this run in a little while if they're going to get back into the game at all, Sturt.
Centre bounce. It'll be Carey against Hargraves again. Hargraves coming in from the side. Carey got the tapper and straight to Derrington. Simons had many touches all day. Motley went well read off hands, chips one away looking for Barbary. Didn't come off though. Salisbury read it well.
He wouldn't give the handball to Painter, and he just kicked it straight to the opposition.
Salisbury gets it to Farquhar onto his left boot. Centre wing looking for Stringer. Comes to ground.
Simons to Doofy. Fry for Sturt to put it back into attack from that outer wing position. Radbone, he's under pressure. Gets it clear. Craig pushing the back. Play on, says the ump. No, he'll be paid.
Well, that's Neil Craig. I don't know what's happened. I think he's just gone into sleep for a moment. He was just stood there, and when he got that ball, as though he had a half an hour.
Just centre half forward for Sturt. Davies up. He can't get it because it was pushed out by Farquhar. McGuinness with the run of it out there. Half-back flank for Glenelg. To the wing position.
I think Sturt are going to
Kernahan's 11th mark.
They've certainly got to get rid of Frost from centre half back if they're going to have a chance.
Downs against Nichols. Downs forces it back towards the wing position. Craig with his nose over the ball. Picked up, however.
Kernahan.
He pushes it down towards Marshall, but it's out of bounds towards the forward pocket position for Glenelg. They're a comfortable 5 goals clear. The wins against them. But at this stage, the Bays are playing better football.
Ball in to be Kernahan against Frost. Comes out the back towards Fry. Chips one away towards the centre. Sturt have got to make full use of this. Painter not allowed to go on by McGuinness. Eventually drives Sturt towards centre half forward. Davies, got a shove out by Farquhar.
The umpire just believes that he's just putting on an
play
act.
go on. It was a hurried kick, however, while we're watching that. It's a goal. Hargraves, it looks like, has scored his first goal of the game. Much needed one by Sturt.
Well, one feels very sorry for Rick Davies because Michael Farquhar is just allowed to push him out of the road in the back with both hands at the moment. And one can say whatever one likes, but when one's a great player, as Davies is, and the ball comes in like that and he's interfered with, and the umpire says he's putting on an act, I mean, great players don't put on acts. And I think that's a shame, but it was a wonderful goal by Hargraves. His recovery back onto the foot was very good, and he saved the day.
Hargraves back in the centre. Sturt 4 goals down. Nobody can take that one out. Carey has a try to Hall. Hall kicks it out on the grandstand wing. Simons has got the run. He's had a great game. Pushed there by Gibbs to Simons. Simons finds McGuinness. He's paid. Tony McGuinness looking for Nichols. Gone deep. Nichols, another mark.
He plays very tall when that ball comes in, one out. Nichols' height is too much for Downs. He caught Downs flat-footed, and Downs tried to spoil it, but the reach of Greg Nichols was too great, and at 9-minute mark of the last quarter, he's got a chance to steer Glenelg 30 points clear again.
This is the 5th mark for Nichols. And he's got a chance to make it 5 goals as well, and he has. 5 goals to Nichols, 15 to Glenelg, 15 goals, 14. And Sturt still 5 goals down on 11-8.
Wonderful play by Glenelg. They're getting it out of the centre still. They've got enough ascendancy through the centre of the ground to make sure that there's enough opportunities up forward for players like Nichols and Kernahan to get first go at the ball on a one-out situation. And when it's coming off hands, they're certainly contesting very hard. At the moment, David Marshall's playing in the centre. Holster's been up in the forward pocket. He started off in the centre of the ground. He's up in the forward pocket, and he's certainly working very hard for Glenelg with Tony Hall as run on ruckman.
So the Tigers have their tails in the air. They're still in front by 30 points. That was the margin that we started at the beginning of this quarter. Centre bounce. Hargraves got the tap. Didn't go anywhere in particular. He'll come towards Simons. Couldn't get there. Players desperate. Well tapped on by Motley to Craig, who's got Derrington loose. Right foot, chip away. Aimed it towards the point post. It didn't come back with a breeze. Minor score to Derrington. Sturt 11-9. Still trailing Glenelg 15-14.
Sturt can't afford to miss anything. The wind obviously not quite as strong across the face of that goal.
Farquhar. Hollis from behind. Juggles it. Umpire called play on. Hollis thought he'd marked it. Salisbury put Hollis on the ground, so we'll see a ball up.
Yeah, Hollis had it as clean as a whistle, I'd say. It's the first time he's gone for the ball today as though he meant business. He's really decided he's going to have a go at it. He had a go at it, and he didn't get paid.
Had a couple of grabs at it, but appeared to have control. Bounce up. Carey got the tap towards Simons. Quickly puts it onto his right boot. He was under pressure. That'll be over the line on the full. Penalty free kick to Sturt. Probably go the way of Pake, is it, or Hollis? Looks like Hollis will take it.
Paul Hollis, who's certainly been beaten by Simons on the day, to Hargraves. Won't be Hargraves' fault if they lose. The Blues, he's had a great day in ruck against great players in Kernahan and Carey. Filkey on the bottom of the pack. He couldn't do anything with it. The bays will clear. Or will they? Good tackle by Radbone, holding the ball.
Well, it's bad luck for Doothie. He fumbled it on the first take. That's what got him into trouble. He went to the ball well, and he tried to get rid of it, I think, a fraction before he had control of it. And as a result, it enabled Radbone that extra yard or two to get hold of him. Can Sturt take advantage now? They need goals. That's all they can kick. They can't afford to kick any offline shots goal. They've got to have full points on every kick.
This is Radbone's 7th kick. His first game back into the league this year, and it looks good. First goal to Radbone. And Sturt just a little closer. Is it close enough? 12-goal-9 Sturt to Glenelg's 15-goal-14.
Sturt has certainly taken advantage of that free kick. It's a handy one for them. They worked the ball in. Hargraves took yet another mark. He's worked hard. Carey's also has done very well. Now Kernahan will be in the ruck against Big Hargraves.
Centre bounce. Kernahan back in ruck. Hargraves favoured, all ran straight into his own play. Eventually Barbary got the hurried kick out. It'll be Stringer first to it. He's been chased by Craig. Stringer picks it up, tries to weave around, does so, gets the handball on towards Doothie. He's got time now, the Bay's plenty of time. Drive up towards the full forward position. A good kick into the breeze too. Tapped on by Nichols. Straight towards Pake. Long handball towards Fry. Sturt have got to do it quick. Towards centre wing. Motley went up far too early. And we'll see a free kick going in the way of Kernahan for Glenelg.
McKechnie due to come back on for Sturt to relieve Hargraves.
Kernahan's kick is long. Carey will be in front. Hot frost from behind. Came off the back of the pack for Pake, who drives it back to where it came from. Motley under extreme pressure from Kernahan. To Seabohm. Craig chasing. Seabohm eventually runs it out of bounds. We'll see a throw in on the outer centre wing position.
John Seabohm's played a wonderful game at centre half back.
Kernahan against Hargraves. Hargraves wins it to Painter, to Whittlesey, playing in the centre, looking for Davies. No, he's looking for Derrington, a beautifully placed mark. And Derrington, the rover for Sturt, a fair way out, but he's got the breeze behind him.
I'd say 50 to 60 metres.
This is Jim Derrington's 12th kick for the day, and a very important one for the Blues. They're still, my sums are right, 25 points, 23 points down.
Still plenty of time though. There'll be 15 minutes left. Pulled it across his body, Keith.
Derrington 1 point only. Sturt to 12-goal-10, 82 points. And Glenelg 104.
Jim Derrington aiming off badly. Then he should have aimed at that right-hand post. He knows when he's getting tired that his kick's going to pull across the goal.
Those two shots from Derrington would have been handy if they were goals.
Farquhar now for the Bays. Comes towards this side, looking for Kernahan. Has taken yet another mark. His 12th mark. 20th kick for Kernahan. Looking for Simon. Stringer from behind. Read it well. It's been paid the mark. Hollis didn't think so. He thought he'd marked one a few minutes ago, which wasn't paid.
That was a good take, though, by Alan Stringer.
Handballs to Simons, who always seems to be in the vacant spaces. Onto his right boot, up towards the full forward position. Punched away. Marshall couldn't take it. Barbary comes out of it with Sturt.
Wouldn't take it, I'd say.
Up towards Motley. McFarlane. He's done well. 33 years of age, McFarlane can still play footy. Kernahan had a hurried kick. Wasn't good. Ill-directed and fell in the hands of Whittlesey. Sturt have got to go straight. Towards half forward. Motley again had 3 Bay players on him. To Craig. Takes it out. McGuinness now through centre. 1 bounce. Through the mud. 2 bounces. Pake's chasing. 3 bounces. McGuinness. Left boot towards Nichols. Ill-directed. Good mark taken by Reid.
Peter Reid, first game back after a fair bit of injury, and that was an important mark for Sturt. To Fry at centre half back, and he's caught. He shrugs it though. Carey didn't grab him. Pake got Heinrich running across the wing. Heinrich further than half forward. Big leap by Motley. Not close enough. It's Motley again trying to push it out. Well recovered by the Bays though. Holst. Holster, little one to Duthie. Duthie across centre. Looking for Stringer. He's marked it. Alan Stringer will go for Nichols. Nichols is out on his own on the lead, but it bounces in front of him. Bad bounce. 12th tree back on. Sturt to clear through Pake now. Downs.
Played fairly serviceably, Pake in the half-back line, actually.
Downs, he rides that one. Long hand pass, Radbone under pressure. Gives it to Heinrich. Another run from Heinrich across the wing. Back to Radbone. Radbone on the wrong foot. Has to turn. Gets it away. Heinrich again into the forward line. Heinrich might even have a shot. Right into the full forward position. Davies can't hang on to it. Gets it away though to Derrington. This time, not good enough again, Jim Derrington. 3 points in a row. $12.11 Sturt behind Glenelg on 15 goals, 14.
It's a good contest then between Michael Farquhar and Rick Davies. Well done, Farquhar, brought it to ground. Then Davies recovered, gave it to Derrington. Derrington's missed for his 3rd point for the score. What did I say? His 3rd point for the quarter.
For the quarter, love it. That's it. Farquhar drives out. Again, a beautiful kick, looking for Seabone. Who's taken the mark? Duthie it is, on the outer side for the Bays.
See, that height's handy on the wing, isn't it? When you can kick out to a player as tall as Duthie, who's playing on a centre wing.
Plays on quickly, looking for Hall. Got it far too early. Got it in the back.
Andrew Downs has been shifted from full-back. Actually, I noticed a moment ago, Peter Reid's playing at full-back, and Downs is in the back pocket on the resting ruckman.
Downs was looking for Motley again.
Oh, take by
ground.
Filkey. Beautiful take by Filkey.
But Davies, but Farquhar's in front again. He's playing a good game. He'll keep the attack going. It's Farquhar's 10th kick. It's high. Whittlesee's the back. Couldn't take it. Comes to ground. Whittlesee's in there. He's got the Bay player all tied up in Marshall. We'll see a bounce up.
Marshall's a niggly little player, isn't he? He just hangs on in there. Then that was well done by Marshall. Just held his ground. Very well done.
Bounce downs just forward of the wing position for Sturt. Craig to Motley. Motley on a left footer. Puts it in well. Davies caught out of position though, and Farquhar playing well. It's knocked over fairly gently, I'd say that, by Craig Filkey. He's a lot smaller than Farquhar. Farquhar to centre half back for Glenelg. Hollis off the back of the pack. Weaves, gets it to Motley. He's under a real hammer, and he had to throw the ball away. Good tackle.
I don't think that is a throw, actually, Keith. I thought that the opposition player knocked that out of his hands. He didn't throw it up in the air. The ball was knocked out of his hands, and he knocked it on. A little bit unfortunate there. He was put under a lot of pressure, though, with the handball. It shouldn't have been given to him like that.
McFarlane to the grandstand wing for Glenelg. Mark on the way down by Stephen Kernahan. He's had a great day. That's his 13th mark.
Fantastic performance.
22 kicks for Kernahan. He finds Carey, and Glenelg looked like they got this one. We're coming up to the 20-minute mark, and Carey will settle it down. The Bays have got all day. Carey into the full forward position. Whoa, up at the back was Nichols. That's Campbell on the bottom of the pack. Out to McGuinness. He can't do anything with it. Nichols very slow to get up at the back, and so is McGuinness. The players will be tired after this one.
It's been a hectic game. They've really worked hard, both teams.
Carey takes it onto his left boot. The big fella's had a shot for goal. It's just wobbled away into the breeze. A minor score to Carey. Glenelg 15-15. Sturt 12-11.
And Peter Carey just showing once again how mobile he is. Even though he's big and lumbering, his ball skills and his manoeuvrability is still excellent. If he gets his hand on the ball, he can do anything with it.
Downs. Got to go the short way. He does. Straight down the middle of the ground. Big lead by Kernahan again. He takes nearly everything he goes for. His 14th mark. Been a big game.
His ruck work isn't all that brilliant compared with his round the field marking, which is absolutely superb.
And he's found Nichols with his 23rd kick, Kernahan. Nichols had a great last quarter. He's already kicked 5 according to my reckoning. He'll now be lining up for goal number 6. Umpire just ordering Nichols around a bit. He'll take his time because Glenelg have got plenty of time. They're in front and look to have this game in their keeping. Nichols comes in, Chips away at it. Umpire has a good look. Nichols not happy. He's missed it. A minor score. Glenelg 15-16. Sturt 12-11.
Nichols 2-1 this quarter. He's got a bad kick. In fact, it's a very good kick, but he just seems to get a little bit offline at times. I think he's worrying about the wind a little bit this afternoon.
Philip Heinrich, the kick out for Sturt. It's a big one to the outer wing position. Craig took it off the pack, didn't handle it well. So McGuinness has a chance to run forward for the Bays. Chips it across to Nichols. Play on, says the umpire. McGuinness again. Over his shoulder for a point.
I wonder why the umpire called that to be play on then. Keith, that looked like a clear mark to me by the big fellow. He just scooped his hands underneath it. So 15-17 now Glenelg, 12-11 to Sturt. They're 4 goals in front exactly, and I don't think Sturt have got any hope of getting back into this game.
Frost to kick out at the 22-minute mark in the last quarter. Fry in front, well spoiled. Pake for Sturt, over his shoulder, only to find Stringer. Pake on the bottom of the pack again. 2 Bay players on top of him at least. Umpire Kinnear will have to ball it up.
McKechnie's back on the ground for Sturt.
And he'll contest this ball up against Kernahan. No one takes it cleanly. Kernahan, though, but only to find Heinrich. Heinrich pushes it in front of him towards the boundary line. Keeps it in. Now it's out. Just forward at the centre wing position. With Glenelg more than 3 goals clear, and we're almost up to the full-time position in the last quarter.
Ball in. Kernahan gets a beautiful tap to 12-3. It's a hurried one towards McGuinness. Went in hard, McGuinness. Well done. Heinrich gets it out to Darrington. To Fry. Onto the left boot. Sturt have got to do it quick. Looking for Motley. Again under pressure. Filkey first to the ball. Can he keep it in? He does. But McFarlane content to run it over the line for a ball in.
McFarlane has been very, very good player as a backup also on that half back line there with Seabohm. He's played a fantastic game, the old fella.
Throw in. Simons went for the big leap from behind. Holtz picked it up well. Plenty of strength. Left foot kick. Kernahan again. And there's another mark. He's been doing it all day. Plays on towards half forward. Nichols is well out in front. Is it Nichols? No. It was Nichols. Got it to 12-3. 12-3 onto his left boot. It was a hurried kick and he's missed. Minor score. Glenelg 15-18. Sturt 12-12. Nichols was a long way out then, Robert.
He was. The handball was given away well to 12-3, and 12-3 allowed for a bit of wind again, and nothing happened. Just went straight.
Sturt 4 goal, 1 down. It'll take a miracle to get out of this because there's only a minute to time on. Eddie Fry in the bottom there trying to get it clear. The umpire will ball it up again.
Rick Davies going to have a run at centre half forward. Motley going back to full forward.
Radbone for Sturt. Flicks it over to Darrington, the rover. Radbone got one in the nose after the play as usual. It's in a bad trot of those. Davies out to centre half forward, has a shot. 1 point over. Sturt 12 goal 12. 4 clean goals down behind Glenelg.
Poor old Rick Davies not having a big day. He celebrates his 32nd birthday tomorrow, Big Rick.
I remember Peter Motley's first game down here. He played a magnificent game on a half-back flank. Sturt have now shifted him into the full forward area.
Farquhar kicks off. It's a high one. Kernahan will set himself. It's been repetitive, but Kernahan's taken another one. His 16th mark to Simons. McGuinness is calling for it. Well done, McGuinness. He'll play on quickly. Left boot up towards full forward to Carey. He's in front, Carey. Taking the mark.
15 metres. Taps it out.
Yep, Frost has given away the 15, has he? No, he just bring him back to where Carey actually marked the ball.
15 metres. Peter Reid, as he ran past Carey, put the ball out in front of him and didn't let him knock it out of his hand. It's a bit of experience and inexperience, all in one hit.
So Peter Carey, captain of Glenelg, only about 15 metres out. He's kicked over 400 goals in his career. That could be his first for the day. Glenelg 16th. They're 16-18. Sturt 12-12.
And Peter Carey's just on the end of the play now, but Stephen Kernahan has continued to reign supreme around the ground. David McKechnie showing his upsettedness there of being outmarked as that ball came up the ground that Kernahan started that attack with as he took it on the centre wing. They've got to play him very close. And these young fellows like McKechnie have got a lot to learn when it comes to playing against players like Kernahan.
And it's McKechnie against Kernahan in the centre. Kernahan wins it, but to Barbary for Sturt. Pushes it out to their half-forward flank, the outer side, chasing it. Walsh beats Filkey. Runs around him. One bounce. Kicks it over the wing position. To Marshall. McSkenny was up high, couldn't take it. Redbone turns out of trouble. To Barbary. Looks like Downs. To Barbary again. He snatches at it. Goes back around the outer side. Little one to Filkey. Filkey has Redbone running. Redbone onto his left foot. Bounces. He's got pace. Goes for goal. And it'll go through. Good goal from Redbone. It'll be too late for Sturt. It takes him to 13-12 behind Glenelg on 16-18.
They're the sort of things that Chris Redbone can do. If Sturt can get their team play going, and they haven't been able to today. It's a little bit of run on. Then Redbone with an opportunity occasionally, just 2 or 3 of a match through that half-forward line. If he works to get a couple of those, then he can do that sort of a kick. But Glenelg up until now have just found that little bit extra in this last quarter and a bit.
2 minutes into time on, and Sturt need a miracle. McKenny with a big thump. Only as far as Seabone. Big left foot kick up towards the half-forward. Nichols out in front. He's taken it, having a boomer of a quarter. In fact, a boomer of a game. He's already kicked 5, Greg Nichols. His 13th mark of the day. He's been out in front. Has a lot of pace for a big fella. About 45, 50 metres out. Into the breeze. Nice looking drop punt. Will it favour? It's hit the post. Bad luck, Nichols. Minor score to Glenelg. 16-19 Glenelg. Sturt 13-12.
Nichols has had 9 shots today for 5 goals. Change for Glenelg. Ross as Sturt go on the outer side.
Ross Gibbs has come on, Keith, and 12 trees gone off.
McKechnie gives it to Redbone. Redbone for another chance. Booms it into the full forward position. Motley there now. Recovery though by the Bays. They push it out onto their outer side. Long run here. Gibbs on. Gives it a big one to Simons. He's had a great game on the wing. Simons a bounce. He's got time to have a look around. Drives it towards centre half forward for them. Fry pushing it in front of him for Sturt. Plenty of pressure. Simons over the top to McGuinness. He'll be bumped out by Heimlich.
Oh, Simons and Fry getting stuck into it here.
And Gibbs comes to pull Fry off.
Good to see players not all rushing
now
in.
We've got Fry on the bottom with Gibbs, who's just come on for the Bays. Nothing much in it, and nice to see that there wasn't one of those little melees. It's a fairly favourite spot for the players to get into it. We had a good one here last week.
Yes, Keith, and good to see that players aren't running those 30 or 40 metres to get involved, as we heard about during the week. Carey got the tap. Tapped on again by Stringer to 12th tree. Handball, he's well tackled by Pake. McGuinness in Pake's back. The umpire saw it that way, and Pake will get the free kick.
He Pake did well then, because he started from behind, got in front, got his nose over the ball, earned the free. 12-3 looked like he had a goal up his sleeve. Tim Pake to relieve for Sturt, to centre half back. McKechnie. Oh, missed the centre. Stringer takes it. He's ridden by McKechnie. Stringer to Carey, who's got a week to have a go. And he can't believe it. How could he do it, he says to himself. But he did. Out of bounds on the full. And I should think the umpire will ask the kids to get off the ground. Back they go. Thank you very much, cheer squad.
It was almost like slow motion there, that game, and in fact Campbell's going to has sent the runner out to Carey. I'd like to know what the message was, Keith.
I would think at this stage it was, don't worry too much about it, Peter, it's in the bag. He's played a great game, Peter Carey. Frost to kick off for Sturt, but the umpire's still not happy that the cheer squad's over the fence, and so unfortunately the players held up.
They'd have to be happy though. Glenelg got off to a shocking start to the season last year. They lost their first 8 games, narrowly beaten here last week. Today though, they look to have their first win on the board for the 84 season.
Carey 11 kicks for the Bays today, and worked hard in ruck. Kernahan the star, however, a magnificent game from him. As Frost kicks out towards the wing position, Kernahan almost again. Stringer tackled by Painter. Bay player tipped out of it.
Murphy's come on.
Duthie Finds 12th tree to McGuinness. He's chased by Muskeni. Oh, good bump by McGuinness. And there's the siren. And Glenelg are the victors. A good win at home. 16 goal 19 to Sturt's 13 goal 12.